everyone. We're gonna do this again. Together. I need your energy, everyone. Let's do this. This energy is from the Fandom Menace, Fandom Collective, YouTubers, Jeremy's, people with good hearts. Welcome to the Rookie Critic YouTube channel, everybody. How's it going? It's a nice Sunday. How's it going, Josiah? What's up?
How's it going, man? It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on.
I know. Is this finally the first time I've had you on my channel or not?
I think I've been on one other time, but yeah, it hasn't been often. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we've crossed paths a lot on other channels.
Yeah. We definitely need to start doing that a little bit more. So
all the time, but it is understandable though. The more the community grows and people to stream with, it's harder to nail time to do anything.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But no, thanks for having me on, man. This is awesome. And I think we have a lot of really awesome stuff to talk about tonight, especially us both being film nerds and stuff. So
oh yeah, that is the point. I'm calling this film talk. I don't know if this will be a new series I do, but that's okay. What I feel like fits for it. And it's like, that's the main thing I want to talk about. Like, I don't just do the recent news stuff. It's like, no, film in general. I just go into anything.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Like, I could talk about movies all day. You know, it's one of my passions, as is yours as well. So, should be a lot of good talk.
Oh yeah, I agree. Before we get going, though, I'm just going to address the chat real quick as they start rolling in. Teresa Martin shows up, of course, gives her classic wave. And we got Jacob Shriller in here. He says, "What movie will Josiah make next?" I don't know. I don't know. That is a good question. That is something we could talk about the possibilities of, especially with the movie that we're going to talk about today. And Dean approves, says hello. Batman, big fan, says hello there. General Kenobi. Hello there. would be the response. The Price is Right review says, hey, sup party animals. Hope your night is going well, my friends. Nice to see you. Price is Right. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
The Ancient One has rolled on in, says hello, everyone. And that's everybody at the moment, but people shall be rolling on in. Yep.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I have my coffee, so I am all set to party. So
yeah, we could always talk about food, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I hear that's the legacy on your channel is food.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately I've been loving just like sending random stuff from Subway, like because there's a lot of people that are hungry in the morning, and it's like, they just want cookies, and it's like, well, I bake them fresh every morning on the weekend. So
yeah,
it's like
that's a great way to spread some happiness for sure. That's great.
Oh yeah.
I know whenever I see you posting about food and from like Subway and stuff, I'm always like, oh yeah, I could do some of that right now.
Yes, I feel like Subway should owe me some advertising. Something.
I agree. They should sponsor you, man.
Yeah, I do it good, and well, I have a Subway jacket too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
The whole thing. I'm not wearing it now, but it's a free sponsorship, free advertisement.
Yeah. I was just at Subway yesterday, actually getting some food. A friend of mine, I'll just tell a quick story here. So yesterday I was working with someone else, and we were and he was like, he had a horrible headache. So he stopped at a gas station and he got some Advil to kind of help with headache. And so he took the Advil. And I wasn't really into paying attention. I was on my phone while he was taking it and stuff. And then about half an hour later, we were driving along, and suddenly he was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I need to pull over. My body feels really weird right now. And he was just like, he almost passed. He was like kind of like doing this and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, what's going on? And so he like pulls over, and then he's like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but my body feels incredibly weird right now. I was like, was that Advil PM that you took by any chance? And so he looked at it and he was like, holy crap, you're right.
Damn it.
And not only that, but the recommended dosage is like 200 milligrams or something. Yeah. He took 800 milligrams of Advil PM.
Oof,
it was rough, man. He really looked like he was just about to drop over in the snow, just completely out. And I was like, you know what? You should probably get a little food in you. That'd probably help kind of balance it a little bit. So we were like, all right, well, let's just go to Subway. There's a Subway right over there. And I was thinking about you as we were getting Subway, actually. So
yeah, I feel like Subway and Taco Bell are like perfect when people had a night of drinking or getting high.
Yeah, and he definitely was acting like he was high, for sure. Let me tell you.
Oof. That's awesome. Real quick, looks like we got a Mecha Random 42 raid in the chat here. Oh, nice. Everybody just got sent from over there. I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that, Mecha, for sending everybody over here.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to just be coming from there right now. Yep. Mecha Random, Mecha Raid. Hashtag, and then of course Ancient One is always there. It's like, that's crazy. All right, yeah, Hands of Arts here. Mecha Random 42 sent me. Well, I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some films. Josiah Rises here has made a film that's on Amazon Prime called Taker's Crown. Mind you, this was a while ago. This wasn't recent. It's not something that he just came up with, but we're talking about some films, talk a little bit about the Black Widow trailer and Wonder Woman that just came out. We're just doing a little bit of food, talking about food to get you guys, settled in for it. Who doesn't want to start a stream with some food? You guys can order a pizza or something while we're doing this. We're helping you.
There you go.
Oh yeah. It's like I was I like that story because that's just kind of funny. The people that come into my store as customers, like, they're half the time because I work at night and mornings, and at night people tend to be high and they don't know what's going on. And sometimes they'll just be standing there as they're ordering veggies and stuff. Like, I toasted their sandwich, trying to talk to them, they're not really responding. And then I get to the veggies, and there's like, what? It's like, what veggies do you want? Some spinach. They're like so happy about it. Like, some spinach is nice. That's nice.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Chipotle, yeah. It's like, okay, I got you, man. And then they're like, they usually, I think they want to tip $1, but they're so high they can't see what's up or something, and they just like $5. Oh,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that.
People who are high tip really well, almost as good as bar owners. That come in. They bar owners are always like, oh, they get like a $5 sandwich. Give me the 20, and then they just walk out. Like, I keep the change. It's like, okay, that is great. Thank you. Come back.
Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Yep, I'm loving it. Again, I'm just addressing the chat real quick before we actually get into start with a Wonder Woman trailer in just a sec. Rosetta Allen is coming here, says, what's up, you guys? Love you both. Hey, Rosetta, I hope you've been doing well. I know you've had some pains and stuff recently, but she's been a firecracker on Twitter talking about the fandom and Fandom Menace. So that's awesome. Much appreciated. Eric Bowling, I was going to say Broling for a sec, says, yeah, Mecha, we did as command. I appreciate that once again, guys. Chef Carolyn's, Chief.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I get the eyes mixed up. Says, I love some Italian BMT on white with provolone, salt and pepper, and guac. Well, that's fine, but foot long or 6-inch?
That is the question.
The classic ones. That's the one thing too that customers will do a lot. They'll be like, hey, so I'll get like a foot long ham and then some lettuce and whatever, and I'm like, on paper,
Yeah.
just want me to put it on paper. We got bread. If I went to just choose what bread for them, they'd complain about it. They go, no, not that one.
Yeah,
right. I get the ones that say, I want everything on it. I put everything, but not those. Don't do those. Okay. Okay. Is the sandwich done? You're good. Yes, that's good. But can I also get some salt and pepper? It's like, okay. I said, are you done? Not yes, I'm done, and some more.
Yeah.
It's like saying infinity plus one or something.
Yeah,
it's like you can't do more than what is that. So I know that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm sure you have some pretty crazy Subway stories.
Oh yeah. See, I was thinking about I did one stream called Tales from a Sandwich Artist, and I talked about a couple of them. Mm-hmm. I might make that like a weekly thing in the mornings or something if I can, because like
a fun idea.
To talk about my customer service experience, and maybe I can talk about me going into other stores too, and I've seen that experiences. So I don't know.
That's cool.
Yep, but going on to the topics today, so we'll get to Taker's Crown in a little bit. But I just before this watched the Batwoman, the Black Widow and Wonder Woman trailers. So what do you think of the Wonder Woman trailer?
Oh man, I really liked the Wonder Woman trailer a lot. It was a really, really fun movie. It kind of had a well, of course it's because it's set in the 80s and stuff, but it kind of had a little bit of like a Stranger Things type of feel of it, at least as far as the 80s go. Like it was kind of like centered around a mall and stuff, which season 3 was kind of about with Stranger Things. It kind of had that really boppity 80s music and stuff, and it was really, really fun. But I love where they seem to be taking the Wonder Woman character. Like her powers are just really cool, and we see things in here that we haven't really ever seen before when it comes to a superhero. It's not just like, punching and kicking and jumping around and all that type of stuff. Like she actually does really cool things, like, takes a bullet out of the chamber and smashes it and stuff, which I thought was really
that
creative.
Too. That's a cool film trick too.
Yeah, there's a lot of really creative stuff that they did in this trailer with Wonder Woman, and I really appreciated that a lot. And of course, Gal Gadot, come on.
You start with Gal Gadot. Your movie's at least going to be a C.
Yeah, exactly.
And a 5 out of 10 already with just having her presence.
Yeah, so I really liked it a lot, and I like the fact that they don't give anything away in the trailer either. Like the plot is still pretty under wraps and stuff. Like I still don't know what's going to happen in the movie. And then everything with what's his name?
Steve Trevor.
Yeah. With him, I'm wondering like what the deal is behind that. I kind of have a hunch that it's not actually him, or it's going to be there's going to be some sort of other subplot behind all of that, I think. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with all of that as well. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with you on those, except for like with Steve Trevor. I think that was a mistake showing him in the trailer. Like that seems like the kind of thing that when you're watching the movie, and they'll probably show it in the movie, like, or the way they kind of showed it was he gives her a watch or something, and then it shows him here. Like they should have just shown the watch and that's it. Not show, maybe show her reaction, but not show him.
Right.
Something, because I feel like that's kind of like with in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, like, they show the T-Rex stomp the thing, saving them, and raw.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like that. That was probably going to be their secret reveal plot twist or something. And it's like, it's in the trailer again, so I already know that that's it. So to me, that just dampers a little bit of excitement, but not too much. Other than that, I freaking love the trailer. Like that was great.
It drives me crazy when people do that in trailers, where they show something that it was intentionally supposed to be a really intense moment. Like they did that. One of the best examples I can think of, I think it was for, what was that really stupid series of movies that came out?
There's lots of those these days. You had to be more specific.
It's was it called The Deviant or something? Or
The Deviant. No, I've heard of that. Yeah,
I think that's what it's called. But they have like this whole train sequence in one of the trailers for the second one, I think, where they show like the guy and he's like trying to run across the tracks before the train gets there, and it's like, looks super intense. You're not sure if he's gonna make it, and then they actually show in the trailer that he makes it across. I'm like, what? Why would you do that?
Or like in Castaway, how they show him off the island. I hate things. hate things like that too. And it's like, you might as well almost have it be like if they showed the Lion King or something, and they just show like like long live the king and the kid whatever, and then they show like Simba like kill Scar or something in the trailer. It'd be like, okay, so you saw the fall, the riot, you saw all the plot points you need, really, and that's it. Go home.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, we're done here. Cool.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like that's the thing with trailers. I think the huge dilemma with trailers is they want to get some people won't see something if they don't know anything about it. Like if they don't know enough, they will not be interested enough to go see it. So they think, okay, let's show them a summary of the thing, and then they'll go and see it for some reason. As to where others want to see just like scenes that look good, and that be the hook to have them go see it. And then see the surprises and everything themselves. So those two, which is a tough one.
It is. I'm sure that the marketing isn't easy for these movies ever, but
no.
But yeah,
and I wish they'd have, because there's different medias, like YouTube and internet and TV. There's different there's streaming. I feel like it'd be cool for the internet at least if there's an option to filter trailers to like, okay, so your trailer is going to come up or an ad's going to come up. It's the, one that doesn't give that much information or the one that does give more information. So you can kind of tell, which one's going on.
Yeah. Usually in the first trailer, they don't really reveal as much as like the second trailer usually. But they did kind of reveal, at least, I guess they didn't really reveal that much as far as the plot goes with Wonder Woman. But
yeah, true.
I just hope that they don't get too crazy with revealing too much, So
yeah, I agree. But it's like, with Wonder Woman, I am interested to see it, regardless if they showed Steve. Like, I don't think he's a plot point, but that would have been a nice surprise, I suppose.
Yeah,
but she looks fantastic with the different armors that she gets.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't really a fan of the gold armor, but when they showed her at the end with it, I was like, okay, that looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it's like, and if she loses it, and if at the end of it it gets destroyed or something, I think that's fine. It doesn't ruin anything.
Exactly. Because you can't beat the classic Wonder Woman look, So
true. I mean, Wonder Woman fully clothed is never the best. You gotta be a little scared.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's why I do kind of think that the whole Steve Trevor thing is going to be, I think there's probably going to be some sort of twist or extra subplot behind that entire thing. Yeah. That's going to kind of throw us for a loop with that whole thing. So at least I hope so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Cheetah, played by Kristen Wiig, as the villain, right?
Yep.
Do you like that casting of Kristen Wiig?
I think so. I mean, we haven't seen her as the Cheetah yet, but I think she would be pretty good.
Yeah, other than Ghostbusters 2016, has she done an action role?
Not that I can think of, to be honest.
I only see her as being funny in an SNL skit, and that's it.
Yeah,
like, I think she's hilarious, in a skit, and like she's only hilarious for a brief moment of time.
Yeah, right.
The longer she's on screen, the less I find her funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And film, like same with almost all the SNL people of modern day. Like most of them, they're hilarious in skits to me, but they're extremely uninteresting when they're out of it.
Yeah,
I think Keenan is like one of the only ones that I feel has the comedy prowess to be funny elsewhere.
Right.
He's been doing that for like 20 years now. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Like whenever these like actors like I don't know, do things like host the Oscars and stuff, like they're
it's like Leslie Jones. Yeah.
Oh man.
She's kind of funny again in short bursts, but she's around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're done here. Let's move on.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I don't know if there's much more to say about the Wonder Woman trailer. It's just that little bit of info that we have so far. Yeah,
I mean, I like the 80s feel to it. I think that'll be something that'll be really fresh with the movie as well. Like, I guess technically I don't know what I guess the Joker was probably set a little bit earlier than the 80s, probably like the 70s.
Yeah, I think they aimed for like the 70s, 60s or something.
Yeah, so I guess Wonder Woman still won't be quite like that. So yeah, I like the fact that it's set in the 80s. I can't think of a superhero movie that's been set in the 80s. So that'll be fun. That'll be a cool take to it.
Was the Flash TV show was that in the 90s or 80s? The older one.
The older one, I don't know.
With what's his face? How's in it?
I don't. Are you talking about the Grant Gustin one?
I think so. The one that's not the modern one.
Okay.
And I don't know if there was other ones either.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've only ever seen like the newest one that's out right now. So, and even that, I only watched the first 2 seasons because after that it became crap. So
I agree with you. Wow. I'm sorry that we keep on switching topics a little bit, but it's kind of on DC-ish. So with the Arrowverse, what's your opinion on the Arrowverse? Like from Arrow to where they are now?
Arrowverse, I hate it so much. Like it had so much potential when it first was starting out. I think.
Yes.
I thought the first season of Green Arrow was at least there's potential there for it to be good.
Yeah.
The first season of Flash was amazing. It was really good, and then after that, I don't know. Like I thought that the writing was really crappy. You know, the guy behind the whole CW DC stuff is just like a flaming like woke leftist like.
Run, Barry, run.
Yeah, like
run, Flash.
Like, and the whole CW, DC, Arrowverse, whatever you want to call it,
it's called Arrowverse. That's just
yeah. It's just not good. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Like the writing is so bad.
Yeah, I try to get into it. It's like I like the first. I'm gonna say I like the first 4 seasons of Arrow. As far as like I feel like that's enough. That they could have done. Honestly, the 5th season is, I haven't watched it all the way, but I mean, I think that's fine to end after 5 seasons because it was 5 years he was missing on the island. He flashes back and forth every season, but as the years go up to, go to where he was at the beginning of season 1 to where he is at the end of his whole thing. I kind of like that storytelling. It's a little different. Expands, fleshes out characters differently at different times and whatnot, can bring back older characters that died now but were alive then. It's a good format, I think. But then, are they doing like a 9th season or an 8th season Arrow now? Like
that's crazy.
They should have stopped at season 5.
Yeah.
Ended the Arrow show, and then if they wanted, they had the Flash and Supergirl and DC's Legends of Tomorrow going. Flash should have probably ended at season 3.
Don't forget Batwoman as well.
I'm not mentioning that yet. That doesn't exist yet. There's too many shows to list first. I think they actually had a Vixen 6-episode cartoon that is technically part of the Arrow and Flash universe because they had Vixen show up in an Arrow episode or Flash one or DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I don't remember. She showed up in something and they had acted like they met before. So that's in it too. But it's like the way they should have done it is after Arrow ends, the characters and everything that happens in there can interact in like the Flash or in the other series TV shows that are going on. But then after Flash is over by season 4 or something, end the Flash series. If DC's Legends is still going, those characters, Flash and stuff, can interact in those new ones. But that show end the show, so there's not like 800 episodes you have to watch to get what the hell is going on. I wanted to catch up on the stuff, but I'd have to watch in such a bizarre order to figure out what the hell's going on and who's what. I don't have time to go back and forth and look, and no, that's not the thing.
Yeah. Alex McCarthy is so mad at me right now in the chat. He's like a huge fan of the Arrow, of at least of Arrow and stuff. And,
I agree, Alex. I like it too, but I think that it needs to slow down and rethink itself. I feel like it recycles the same exact idea every time with stuff. There's like, there's a gala event and then something fancy schmancy. We thought this guy's bad and then it's something else. I don't know. It's just the same type of thing. There's unnecessary
people that die and come back too.
They decide that they're not going to tell them this one piece of thing. And then the other person really cares about that. So they get upset and, the chief officer ended up still drinking. I don't know. It's just like, can't come up with any. This is why you should have stopped. You don't need to make more stuff happen. You're done. You told your story. Be complete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
And do you know who I can't stand in Flash?
In the Flash that you can't stand. There's a lot of characters I can't stand in that show. You want to go off the list? Which ones do you hate?
Iris.
Yeah,
I can't stand her.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if it's the casting or the character. I don't know. Just nothing there. It's like,
you remember? I think it was was it season 2 or season 3 of Flash that Patty showed up? Do you remember Patty?
Patty. There's so many characters. The name doesn't ring a bell.
There's like this one really cool chick that showed up in, I think it was Flash season 2. I can't remember, but her name was Patty. She was like an awesome character, and she and Flash started to like kind of become like a thing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, for some reason, like halfway through the season, they like somehow broke up, and then you never see Patty ever again in the entire show.
Yeah,
and he like goes back with Iris, and I'm just like, why? Like, Patty is just so much better than Iris. Like, why would you go back to her?
Is it because the comic books had it with him and Iris or something?
Probably.
Like, because that I don't know. They
so bad. It's like Iris
I don't know.
Sucks.
That's all good, but I think we can talk Arrowverse another time if you want, because I don't know, I don't mind bashing the show a little bit. I love the show.
Honestly, I don't have much else to say about it, so I haven't really watched too much of it. I can't get into it.
Same here. I couldn't watch all the way of season 5 of Arrow. I think I didn't even finish season 3 of Flash. I think I watched season 1 of Supergirl. I watched season 1 and 2 of DC's Legends, or partway through season 2 maybe, and then I don't know how many shows they added since then. Black Lightning, the Supergirl has a lot of seasons now. There's the Batwoman. I don't know. There's too many shows and episodes, and I don't like that. There's too much of things, you know. They need to have a limited number, because you can make all them that you want, but how can anybody now, like the first time that wants to get into this universe, how the hell do they start? With 15,000 episodes to watch before they get to the current,
right?
You know, like, are they gonna have Arrow season 12? Like, think about that, Josiah. Think about that. How can that? What are they gonna do? They already did everything.
Not much Arrow in this world, so
no. And then the gimmick gets really old. I'm gonna fire my arrows and I'm gonna save the city. Why would anybody go to that city ever after all that crap? Literally abandon the city completely, and everybody can go somewhere else. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Why is all the villains specifically going to this one city?
Right.
That's like, there's other cities around you that don't have vigilantes, right? Why are you doing this one? But because that's where the show is in the plot. Yeah, but you've already done this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many times? I don't know.
Yeah. Alex is probably so mad right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. Sorry. I'm saying again, I'd loved some moments in Arrow and some stuff in the Flash. Some stuff was fine in the series, but most of all, it needs to end. Needs to get Thanos, I think.
Yes.
Cut it in half.
Save us, please.
Yes. But Black Widow trailer dropped as well.
Yeah. I liked it. I did a whole video on it for my channel. I like the trailer a lot, and I think that the movie looks really good. But it had a kind of a Winter Soldier feel to me, and I like that. It kind of had it brought me back to that kind of era of the Marvel movies, I guess, a little bit. But I hate the fact that we're getting it now. Like, it makes me so angry that we're getting it now.
Same here.
The fact that we know how Black Widow's journey ends, it really takes some of the magic and the love for the trailer out of it for me. Like, as I was watching, I was like, why are we getting this now? Like, as I was watching the trailer, like, I was loving what they were showing on screen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just getting more angry, because I was like, we should have gotten this movie like 3 years ago when it was supposed to be coming out, like between Civil War and Infinity War or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why are we getting this now? Like, or they should have put it like where Captain Marvel's movie was. Like,
I agree.
A perfect slot to put the movie. It would have been right before Endgame. It would have given us a chance to kind of understand Black Widow as a character in its full context and stuff before we see her sacrifice herself. It would have been amazing. It would have been such a great way to give her the complete emotional arc by the end of Endgame. And we didn't get any of that. And instead we have this retarded Captain Marvel movie that's like that came out that no one cares about. If you think about it, Captain Marvel didn't even do anything really in Endgame besides like save Iron Man at the beginning and fly around the gauntlet a little bit. I guess she flew through Thanos' ship. Wow.
I feel like they could have written something else to happen there that would have been just fine.
My problem with it is that at the end of Infinity War, when Nick Fury has like her pager and stuff. Like they kind of made it set up so that she was going to be like a big deal in Endgame, which I'm glad she wasn't a big deal in Endgame.
Yeah, thank God.
But she didn't really have much that she really did in Endgame. Like they could have given Black Widow did more important stuff in Endgame than Captain Marvel did.
Yeah.
By sacrificing herself. So why didn't we get her movie like, I guess it was like 2 or 3 months before Endgame actually came out that Captain Marvel came out. So why didn't we get that movie in that place? Like,
well, as EVS says, it's like the perfect marketing strategy of, a lot of people probably are going to like this character, but whether or not they like her, it's right before the finale and it's right after Infinity War. So it's
there's definitely a strategy on their part why they put her there.
Yeah.
But it still makes me mad. So
no, it makes me mad too. That's exactly my thoughts. As I'm watching it, I'm like, if this wasn't a prequel, I would care. If this came out right before Endgame, like this would be like, we get to see Black Widow deal with her own stuff for once without it being somebody else's problems. She's dealing with her own problems for once, and having this be right before Endgame would be fantastic. Especially when like they're going to try to sacrifice themselves. Like, we already know enough about Hawkeye's family and stuff. We haven't seen much interaction with it, but when he's doing a picnic with them and then they disappear, I mean, that's enough to make you understand his plight of where he is. With her, we see her in bits and pieces and stuff, what she's doing now, but only connected to the other Avengers. So seeing her and her, like her sisters in that, apparently they're dealing with their own family stuff. Was that Red Nova or who's the fat?
Something like that.
I don't know who he is. A Russian hero. He's a Russian superhero, I imagine. So
Captain Russia.
That's what that is. So, but it's like that's kind of cool, and that would have been cool to have in the setting before Endgame. Like they can obviously show, hey, this is a prequel still. It's not in between the movies, but we're showing you this before her final appearance, and that would have been very impactful. And it's like, I mean, honestly, they could have shown Captain Marvel after Endgame.
Sure.
And I think it still would have done fine. I don't know if it would have done $1 billion, but I'm pretty sure that people would have still seen it.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. Like, and I mean, we've been wanting a Black Widow movie for a long time. Like the fans have been asking for one for years. Yeah. And I hate the fact that they are kind of trying to paint the narrative around it that Captain Marvel's breaking the glass ceiling and stuff, and no one like she's so revolutionary and she's going to change the game. It's like we as the fans have been sitting here asking for a Black Widow movie for a long time,
ever since 2012, ever since Avengers came out. Really,
exactly.
Yeah, we saw her in Iron Man 2 and saw her fleshed out more in Avengers. It's like, dude, we want to see a movie with her. Hell yeah. There's actually a movie
MCU. Like I love Black Widow as a character. She's awesome. So
there is a movie called Black Widow, but it's not anything to do with Marvel. But I looked for that once at an FYE, and they're like, oh, it's not Black Widow though. I'm like, why the hell is it called Black Widow?
Yeah, right.
they're that's just a name, Yeah, but goddamn, so there's no Black Widow movie, like not even an older one, like the Nick Fury of Shield, that's an older movie. It has nothing to do with current Marvel, but that was a movie. I was like, is there any tidbits of her? No. So it's like, they really could have in the prime spot of it, but I mean, I'm glad that there's Wonder Woman and Black Woman. God damn it. And Black Widow.
Too. Yes, I'm very glad that there are Black women.
Yes. Wonder Woman and Black Women. I'm getting tongue-tied saying them together.
Yeah. Oh, man. No, yeah, I
at least I'd say Wonder Widow and Black Woman.
Yeah, the thing is that the Black Widow movie is kind of like Solo, a Star Wars story all over again. Like, because we saw the death of Han Solo in Force Awakens, and then 2 years later we're seeing like his origin story or whatever, and it didn't do well at all. Nobody cared. So of course, that had like The Last Jedi before it, so there's a lot of reasons why Solo didn't do well. But I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why they're doing the same thing with Black Widow now. Doesn't make any sense to me. So
I don't know. I mean, people seem to love the idea of prequel stuff, and it's like I don't know. I guess they had the idea. I assume they had the idea to do Captain Marvel before Avengers. It's like when they're making the Avengers movie, the first one. I assume they really had the stuff planned out. I assume they had it planned out enough to how they want the movies, but I could have sworn they shifted movies around all the time. I thought, and it's like with the Inhumans, I know they changed a lot of things around with that and pretty much negated them. Like, okay, they're going to be a movie. Now they're going to be a show. Okay, it's a show. Screw it. It's not canon. Get out of here.
Yeah, right.
Let's do that. And I don't know. So like, it's not just Black Widow too. I mean, there's a lot of movies that I think they could have made that would have been just fine. And if they started doing TV shows for it, other than just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like their first, TV show that connected to the movies kind of. And it's like the other ones kind of reference them, but not really. It's vaguely in the same universe, which is just fine. But like they could have done other shows too during that time to this hype, even if it was 6-episode shows or something like, Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Dude, that would have been amazing. That would have been an awesome show. Black Widow and Hawkeye. Oh man,
especially like after Daredevil came out or something. Like have these guys too. And with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a lot of people hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I'm one of those who kind of love it. I mean, I feel like it could be like if Ivan Ortega cuts out some of the crap that's in it a little bit, condenses it. Fantastic.
Yeah, I actually am a big fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So
thank you. Wow, there's not that many of them around these days.
I think a lot of it is people couldn't get past like the first season. And that really kind of screwed over a lot of people, I think. If you get past like the first season, it gets really good. So
people think that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s destroyed, like in the movie, and like why continue? But it's like that's exactly why you should continue, because they're not this huge overbearing government organization. They get crippled to nothing. They have to somehow in the shadows fight the shadows, like basically. Exactly. And it's like. That's fantastic. And there's plenty of reasons why you can't just, hey, let's just call up Iron Man. Let's just call up the Hulk. They don't have the phone number anymore. It's like, good luck calling Bruce. It's even Iron Man. Like, convince Iron Man to stop what he's doing and come and do whatever you're doing there. A character that is supposed to be dead is leading this stuff, trying to lead it. They're trying to trust people. There's so many people they can't trust. Like, it's a fantastic show. And they do lots of excellent nods to the films. So it's like, Blonsky, even an offhand thing. He's like, you keep talking to me like that or something, you're going to end up in a cell next to Blonsky in Antarctica or something. It's like, holy shit, that's what happened to that guy. Okay.
Yeah.
They never.
I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. I like the fact that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of gave a little bit more of a, I guess, emotional resonance to the whole fall of Hydra thing than like even Captain America Winter Soldier did.
Yeah,
like it kind of brought you down to like what the actual agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra were going through dealing with each other, which was pretty cool. So
yeah, I agree. And it's like that kind of I did not at all expect them to flesh anything out like that. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2, when they really start getting into it, it was just like, okay, shoot. Well, even the Deathlock stuff in season 1. Like I don't understand how I can understand if people couldn't get past the first half of season 1, but the second half. Freaking awesome. Like I don't, they have one of the biggest twists. I did not see that coming at all with one of their own guys being bad. Like I figured, of course, somebody's going to turn, but not him. So I was like, wow, that was a surprise. Daisy, has become the best growth of a character in that show. And even May, a lot of people don't like her. They think, oh, she's overpowered and stuff. But it's like she gets her ass kicked every other episode. She needs help all the time. She knows she can't do stuff. She struggles with a lot of things. It's like she knows she's not the most powerful in the room. Yeah. She like has I feel like she does stretch it sometimes, but no more than Black Widow, really.
Yeah. May is a badass. I love May. She's awesome. And I love Fitzsimmons too. Like they have great character arc as well.
I know. I thought theirs was going to get boring after a while, but they kind of find ways to keep that actually the most interesting of their connections.
Yeah. So. Yep. Especially in the past, I've actually haven't seen their newest season yet. I need to watch that. I know it's on Netflix right now. I just haven't had time to watch it yet. But
it's kind of weird to watch because the whole time you think you're going to get the tropes that they're about to do. But they kind of don't. It's like, wait, didn't it? Oh, okay. He didn't do that. Okay, you didn't do that. Okay, well, you're probably going to do this. No. They even have an episode. This is a little bit. It's not really a spoiler, but it's just kind of a funny thing. There's an episode where they eat something. These prisoners are like, oh, humans don't really, or like the Terrans don't really do well eating that stuff. They imply that it'll kill you, but it doesn't kill you. It gets you super high. And Daisy and Simmons take this little thing. It's like chicken or something. Yeah. These things, they eat a bunch of them, and they're just high as hell. And they're like going to an alien strip club or just an alien club of some kind, and they're just like so bizarre with everything. And they do this shtick for a good 10 minutes or so, and I thought it was going to be really stupid, but then they kind of like pouring out all their feelings of these things and what the hell's going on. Like, we're in space and we're doing all these things, and I just let it out. And it's just like, and Daisy by then is Quake, and she is like, one of the strongest people in the whole Shield show. And so they do lots of really cool stuff with her traveling. They don't need a whole army when they got Quake, but she still needs help a lot of times too. She's easy ways she can be taken down.
Oh yeah.
So,
and
that's what I like about her. When Captain Marvel came out, I didn't see Captain Marvel, so I didn't really want to make a video on it without really being able to fairly judge. I was going to do a whole series on how the women at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are better than her, based on people's assessment of Captain Marvel. But I figured I should only do that if I see Captain Marvel.
Right. Yeah.
Like those be made, because those characters are one of the best.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of female characters from Marvel that I like a lot. I like Nebula and Gamora, Black Widow, of course. I actually really like Pepper Potts as well. I think she's a great way to kind of keep Tony Stark grounded in a lot of ways.
True.
I thought was a nice balance to his character. So there's a lot of female characters that I like. Pretty much the only one that I don't like is Captain Marvel. So.
Well, and it's like even Agent Hill. She has some moments too in the show. Yeah. I think they could have done more with her and Pepper Potts. Honestly, they could have had Pepper Potts involved a little bit, but I like having her in it because she's like a direct tie to the movies. And Nick Fury hasn't been in it in a while, which kind of makes sense though. It's like he kind of made it clear he's like, I am kind of done being this. It doesn't seem like he's retiring, but for all we know, he could be punished. He could be the new Punisher.
Right?
Who knows? The old man Punisher. So
that would be
Nick Fury.
Pretty cool.
I don't know. I feel like he'd be doing his own things, like only by himself, like to not like drop the organization of betrayal, be himself, and set some things up maybe.
Yeah.
For all we know, that'll be like how the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends or something. And he comes back, he's like, y'all have been busy, but guess what I've been doing these last 10 years or so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I do kind of want Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to end though. Like it's getting the Arrowverse syndrome of just there being too much. I thought after season 5 would have been perfect to end it, with that plot. That did have time travel, guys. It did have time travel, but it made more sense than Endgame, and it had a lot more consequence. It had a lot of consequence with time travel, and it had and it tied back to the first season and things mentioned in the first season. It built through everything throughout the whole show to get to that kind of point, and I enjoyed that big time. So even if people don't like season 1, well, the show gets better. I'm sorry. Way better. And if you hated the Inhumans TV show, they do Inhumans way better in this. Like, this is the right way to do Inhumans as to the other one. It may not be the way you think of it in the comics, but,
Yeah. Inhumans, the show was not good.
No, I wanted to attempt to watch it, but I was just like, but I know I won't like it. It's just that kind of show where it's like it looks that stupid. And honestly, the who's the main guy on the Inhumans, with the voice?
Oh man, what's his name?
I can't think of his name right now. Black Lightning.
Black Bolt, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they showed his power, and I think I saw in one of the animated shows, like he just goes stop, just like whispers, and it's like
what?
Like he just says like because he doesn't speak, because and he just I think it was with the Hulk or something, I don't know what it was, and he just like stop. And just destroys like half a continent, like and on the moon or something. And it was like, oh shit, that's the power. But then in the Inhuman show, he goes rah or something, and it just flips a car. And I'm like, season 1 or 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did that better. Like,
right.
The guy who was he was an enhanced who got it, injected into him or whatever. He goes, his jaw's all cranked up.
That guy,
and like knocks people out because it's so loud.
Yeah, I remember that.
Better example of power.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about all the like the Marvel shows that are going to be coming to Disney Plus and stuff?
Remind me of them again. I'm lost on what. I swear they announced like 30. I feel
There's
like
a crap ton coming out. There's like the Falcon Winter Soldier one that's going to be coming out. I think that's the first one that's coming, and then there's now I have to try to remember them. I think that they're working on a She-Hulk one as well. Which
wait, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a joke. They're like, hey, we're gonna have this too. Like,
no, I think they're actually doing a She. There's a writer behind She-Hulk show, so they are actually doing it. There's
the Loki and Pals or something. Like,
what's that?
Was there like Loki and Pals?
There's a Loki one, yeah. That's kind of like going to be like their version of Doctor Who or something. They said so. That'll be interesting.
Okay.
What was the other one? WandaVision's one of them, which I don't know how I feel about that one.
Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, but it's
did Vision come back? I thought he was dead.
No, he's dead. Yeah, it's Wanda and Vision, but it's set in like the 60s or something.
No, why?
So make sense of that.
Wait. Oh my god, are they just gonna say it's a parallel world again or something? Like,
probably, yeah.
Oh my god, I don't.
It's literally just the Arrowverse all over again.
I wish I had interest in that. But it's like, and I'm okay with something being set in the 60s, but I'd rather it kind of be just that's the hero that's in the 60s, like, that's there. Like, the Nova guy from the Black Widow trailer. Maybe he had some adventures. I don't know. Show his stuff as a youngster or something. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be fine. Be a new guy. It seems kind of funny. Who knows? But other shows, I don't even know. The movie titles sound like TV show titles. Thor: Love and Thunder. That sounds like a TV show. What are the movies announced? I'm really drawing a blank because they announce so much that they don't end up doing.
Let's see. For Phase 4, we're getting Black Widow, The Eternals.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right?
I don't think that's part of Phase 4.
It's not part of Phase 4. Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, what's the whole hubbub though about what's his face?
Thor: Love and Thunder is Phase 4, and then there's one more. What's the other?
Thor. Chat. Christy's in the chat. What's the answer?
Shoot. I could probably just look it up, but
Jane says X-Men.
This goes to show how much I care about Marvel Phase 4, I guess.
Jane says X-Men, but I don't know. Is that for Phase 4 or 5?
No, I think that's Phase 5.
Good. Just the order of these movies sounds like a Power Ranger code or something. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4, Phase 5. Together we are the Power Rangers.
Okay, so we're getting Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, forgot about that one. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and then Thor: Love and Thunder.
Shang-Chi?
Yep. Shang-Chi.
What's that supposed to be? Do you have any guess?
I think he's supposed to be like the greatest ninja of all time or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know much about it. So the one I'm most excited about out of all those is actually Doctor Strange 2.
Everybody's saying that.
That's pretty much the only one that I'm actually interested in seeing, because I hear that they're going to do a lot of crazy stuff with that movie. Like, it's supposed to be kind of like a more of a horror type of movie, which will be interesting to see how they do that.
Do you think they'll do the horror aesthetic though, or do you think they'll do the horror with the Marvel aesthetic? Like,
they're going to do the horror with the Marvel aesthetic. They're not going to. Yeah, they're not going
to. That's like having. Yeah, just think of your best horror film that you can think of that's like that, but then put the Marvel spin to it of the cuts and action and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But and Strange is a quarter.
I don't know. I'm not hyped for it. And the Eternals, that movie's just going to be a woke pile of crap, probably. So,
like I want to be into this stuff too, and it's like I can see like Thor: Love and Thunder. The title's not bad, like not really. It can be good. It can be good, but like Natalie Portman, if she's supposed to be the one that's in this, I don't care about her character at all, and I don't want to care anymore. It's just like, honestly, if it was a different character that's gonna, I feel like by the end of it, if they earn the right to hold Mjolnir or something, like, you see them go through, I don't know, a journey a little bit throughout the movie, that'd be fine.
Right.
Like, shoot, Aunt May could freaking do it for all I care. Aunt May go through this journey. She can be the next Thor. Why not, right? In this universe, why not?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's because of like my love of like which I know I shouldn't, because the Marvel Thor isn't anything like the Norse mythology version of Thor anyway. But it kind of annoys me because Thor isn't just like a title like for a superhero. It's like his actual name, Right. So when they started coming out with like the Almighty Thor or whatever they call like the female version of Thor, I was just kind of like, really? Like, you can't. It'd be like, I don't know, because that's his name. Like, you can't just have. It's kind of like having a female James Bond, but her name still being James Bond.
Hey James, what's up? Hi.
Let's get dumb. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna pass the title of Jeff on to my son. Just like, or no, not even my son. To a stranger, to a woman, stranger. Yeah. You have the title of Jeff now, the Almighty Jeff.
You are Jeff.
Like, I am Jeff. I am Jeff. Yes.
Not just Jeff, the Almighty Jeff. So.
Yes, exactly. But no, I agree. It's like, and again, like, I don't mind it being a woman, really. I mean, I think that's fine, but I agree that it's kind of stupid. Well, it's like, you could have even had, freaking, this is where the Warriors 3 and Sif would have been kind of cool. Yeah. They could have had their own movie themselves too. This would have been a cool slot for them. Like, have them. I know they all got slaughtered by the sister, but technically they didn't verify that very well that they got killed. Yeah, but it's like, those would be an interesting movie. And let's say that the four of them are like trying to lift Mjolnir, and it's like, okay, so we have to get worthy.
Yeah, right.
Like, it'd be they could do their comedy thing where the whole movie they go through some journey to they figure out, okay, who's worthy and who's not or something. For all we know, all of them end up worthy. And that'd be interesting if they take turns. Yeah, here's Mjolnir. Okay, boom. But if they actually go through something, like have it that be the comedy setup, but then it's a dramatic journey, and go through there.
Yeah, and of course I have like kind of red flags when like the very first thing that they announce for the next Thor movie is that Natalie Portman's gonna be Thor. Like, when they have that as like the very first thing that they talk about the movie, I'm like,
that wasn't even it, though. They're like, Natalie Portman's taking the hammer or something.
Yeah, they show her like lifting the hammer and stuff. She's just like, oh, look at me, everybody. Wee.
It's like, is she going to work out for the role? Or is she going to go to the gym? Or is she just going to be Natalie Portman?
She didn't even look like she was that excited when she held up. She's like,
I know that people don't like the MMA wrestler chicks and a lot of stuff, but it's like, if Ronda Rousey were to do it or something, if she can get her acting up, that'd be something. She looks strong, that can work for something. But again, I don't know. Maybe it's just what if they had like a Thor movie that wasn't this huge fantastical thing? What if it was grounded like a Daredevil or like a to Earth, non-huge space at war film or something, but with Thor, the Thor powers and stuff. Like, I don't know, you can feel like they can go through more struggles with it, fight big bad guys that isn't flying across the whole planet or something, and nuke them a little, or I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I'd be fine to see wherever they want to take the Thor story, but for me, it really does have to be like Chris Hemsworth Thor. Like, I don't really care about anyone else being Thor. I don't want to see anyone else being Thor besides him, because I've grown to love this character of Thor. Like, I don't care about
I think the next film, honestly, instead of him going off with the Guardians, it should have been him trying to, rule his village and also try to work out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Trying to get in shape. He's trying to. He couldn't rule a planet because he never took up the mantle for it. But now he's got to rule his people, which is only reduced to a town. Like, let's see if he can be the true ruler of Asgard.
And that would have made an interesting movie because we already know that he doesn't really want to be a ruler. Like that was kind of established in Avengers Endgame. So it would have been really interesting if he kind of did the Aragorn journey, where like he doesn't want to be the ruler, but he knows it's his responsibility to do this.
At the end of the battle, it's like, the wars have been won, but it's like now it's the future that you need to go toward. And if you you can't just leave it, you're the only one left of your people that can lead your people. Like
that would have been a really interesting journey and character arc for him, I think, in the next Thor movie. But we're all supposed to praise him because he's run away from responsibility. So great.
Yeah. I don't understand that, Josiah. Why is it always where the hero runs away at the end of their journey? It's like, okay, I accomplished everything. Now I'm going to go hide.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to keep on running. Like, I don't understand that.
Being true to himself. He's being brave. Don't you realize he's being brave by running away?
Like, that'd be like if Aragorn at the end of the movie was like, okay, I won this battle. I'm going to go just travel around Middle Earth now.
I'm going to go out in the mountains.
Like, wait a minute. What? You're supposed to rule the people. You've been what do you mean? Like,
yeah, right. Don't worry. You have, I don't know.
Just let somebody else in charge. It's just like, yeah, I mean, okay, but they all did this for you, and they've been led by you. They want to be see where you take it,
right?
Not where you leave it. where are you going to take it to?
And I think that we, as the audience, we want to see him be the ruler as well. Like it'd be such a it'd be such like a scam if by the end we take this entire journey with Aragorn, and then at the very end it's like, nah, I'm just gonna go chill in the mountains. Peace. See ya. Have fun.
Yeah. You see, this is the thing where creativity and storytelling would come in handy here for them. And, I don't know how they really do this if they are only trying to base all their stories off of comic books. To me, it's kind of annoying if that's how they limit themselves. Because, it's expansive stuff, sure. But, the movies are different, and you can do different things with them. So it's like, you don't need to just, okay, you told this story from a comic book. Now let's try to take some other pieces and tell a different story. No. I feel like with his village being his people now, I feel like you can start building on the next Asgardian characters you want to have, maybe. Yeah. Have some people that were there, rise up. Because, they almost seem like they're humans, but they are Asgardian. I assume they have the same strength capabilities. They're just not they're not warriors, though. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to use power. They don't know how to do all these things. They don't strive for any of that. But maybe being the last of their freaking people, you have at least 5 warriors or something.
Yeah, right.
And Thor having gone through his whole journey of trying to he wanted to be king and wanted to rule through an iron fist, and then had to learn and be humble up, and then going through stuff with his brother and betrayal, and his father got killed, his sister, everything, his whole planet got destroyed. He fought Thanos, one of the strongest beings in the universe, and survived. And it's like he would be perfect to kind of at least start setting the stage for the next group. And if Valkyrie's going to be there too, that's fine. Like, I don't hate her. She's fine, actually. That's in my opinion. But, I don't know, that could have been really cool. And then if she's in the next ones after that with the other people, fine. But I feel like they should leave, not him.
Yeah,
exactly. He loves Midgard, so why would he leave?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think that would have made it a lot more of an interesting story for him for the next one. But they, for some reason, I don't know why, but Kevin Feige, well, I kind of do know why, but Kevin Feige is like really, really fascinated with the Marvel comic stories that have been coming out like after like 2012 or whatever. Like he's been like super into all of that type of stuff and kind of just ignoring everything else that happened for the past like 50 years before that or whatever. So yeah, like most of the stories in Phase 4, at least, of the movies that we're getting are based on comics from like post 2012. So we'll see how that goes.
It's so annoying. It's like you could probably tell right now. Like I love to think of other ideas for movies that could happen. It's like I doubt they'll happen. Of course, it's my imagination here, but I think Tony and I talked a while back, and we thought it'd be kind of cool if Thor was to at least temporarily become, a bad guy, like for some he's in. Like, he's been tempted by power a lot. Sometimes he might not think about the casualties. He's gone through this whole journey and arc of everything. Maybe he at some point is trying to, like maybe he remembers in like Thor 1 where Loki was like, or in Avengers where he's like, he's like, I watch Midgard and everything, and you're doing such a great job, aren't you? They're at war with each other all the time. They destroy their own planet. They invent all these crazy creatures that do all this damage, which Thor himself has spoken that he doesn't like their science, Ultron and stuff. It's like, maybe he at some point is thinking, and his whole planet got destroyed. Like, all these things. The only way to protect everyone and his people is to maybe start being a little more taking control here. Like, expressing his views on stuff, and maybe starting a little slow and then kind of building up when there's resistance. Black Panther or something's mouthing off to him. Oh, okay, I'm trying to rule nicely here. But, I'm gonna maybe punch you a little, okay? And it gets a little darker, and then this gets other heroes to maybe try to stop him, but that would be an interesting conflict with emotion, character growth. Maybe by the end of it he turns, okay, I'm good, or no, maybe he's full on convinced, hey, I gotta try to rule now because this is the only way I can prevent destruction, and if I gotta knock a few heads to get there, I will, because I've gone through the worst thing none of you can compare. Like, it'd be interesting, maybe to see him go down dark. Maybe he dies dark, but we would have grown with him, loved him, understood how he got to that point. That's where my head goes, man. That's what I do with my time.
There is way more interesting and exciting than anything they've announced so far for this movie. Like, I love that. Like, that would have been amazing. So, but I don't know. I think Hollywood is just getting more and more lazy with the writing and stuff too.
I agree. Think about this last 10 years. What about it has been the most memorable as far as film goes?
In the last 10 years, probably some of the most memorable, the films that are coming right to mind right now are like the Planet of the Apes movies, the new ones. Denis Villeneuve, I think, is like one of the best directors and writers working right now in Hollywood. I think all of his stuff is really interesting. Like, I loved Blade Runner 2049 so much. That film was great. Besides that, like, Joker probably is the most recent thing.
I'd say the Avengers comes to mind, 2012, with it. Being a thing, but I'm pretty much. I didn't see Blade Runner, but other than that, pretty much agree. And it's like, maybe there's an extra movie or two, but I can't think of it right now. So it's like, how much stay does it really have? I don't know, but it's like this. The main things that what you listed were either reboots or a continuation or something from something else, an existing property.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what I'm disappointed with, is that these last 10 years was mostly full of recycling.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just like, it's fine that it exists, but it's like that's the majority of what it was. I mean, what wasn't? I thought that Annihilation was a completely original idea. It's based off a book or something, and it's like, can anybody make something that is? And I'm okay if it's heavily inspired from, and based off of, but it's like, can anybody invent something new? I gave Valerian some credit at first because I thought, I hated the movie, but I thought that it was original.
Yeah.
Nope. It's a graphic novel. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, still. Dude.
Even Alita Battle Angel that most of us have loved, it's, based off of a manga as well and stuff. Like, that's why I like Christopher Nolan a lot, is because at least he does original stuff. Besides like his Dark Knight trilogy, obviously.
Yeah.
But everything else that he's done has always just been original type of content, and I really appreciate that about him. That's why I like Denis Villeneuve a lot too, is that, he did Blade Runner 2049, but I think everything else he's done so far has all been completely original stuff that he has come up with, which I really like about that a lot as well. Obviously he's doing Dune next, which is based off of the book, but
right.
But at least his writing is really good, like that's the thing, is that like I wouldn't. That's why I like, like even with the Planet of the Apes movies, I love those movies. Yeah. Those aren't necessarily completely original content, but they are so well written that's why I like them so much. And
there's a lot of emotion that comes out of that.
If people could actually be good at writing these reboots or sequels or whatever, I wouldn't have as big of a deal with it. But there's very, very, very few instances where I can think of where the reboot is anywhere close as good as the original. So, and that's my problem.
I agree. There's some, and it's just there's a lot that they do that don't make any sense, like Overboard.
Yeah.
It's like, what made them think, Overboard? Let's do another one.
Yeah, right.
Like if they did Overboard 2,
right?
I'd be like,
yeah.
Why? There's no reason for a sequel. Do you know the old Christmas movie Prancer? They made a sequel to that.
Really? Wow.
2001. I was like, but why? It doesn't. The Christmas Story has 2 sequels. Like
the Christmas.
Why? Yes, the Christmas Story has 2 sequels. I shit you not.
Are you serious? I never. Wow. Obviously they must be crap if I haven't even heard of them before. So like no one cares. So
he's like a teenager, like a preteen in the second one, and has to like learn how to drive and is thinking about a girl. And it's funny in how they attempt to make it. It's you remember when the dad goes river flick a neck a picker bear, he crashes the car and then he goes river flick a dick a bear, and it's just like, all right, we know, and he does his fantasy daydreams. But it was funny when it's funny because he was a kid. And it's like the family, and it's like he's thinking, oh no, if I got an F, you got an F, and it's all these things are like, I'm gonna get you, Black Bart. Like that makes sense. He's a kid thinking about all this stuff, and he's thinking back to it. Perfect. Now he's a teenager. Let's see what else he's doing. What else is he thinking about? Schwang and schwang. It's like we don't need to see Ralphie think about that. So
right. I don't know. Like, I'm so frustrated with a lot of the stuff that Hollywood is doing nowadays. I just wish we could get we do get really good films every once in a while, but it's like I think it was you that put out the post a couple days ago about what. I can't remember how you phrased that.
I said, I put out quite a few polls lately with things, but with the movies, I was like, what was the worst movies in the last year, or the last couple of years?
I think the best one. What was the best year of movies in like the past 5 years or something?
Yeah.
And it's like there's really not that many that have been coming out that are that great. When you think back on even just the past 5 years. It's like, wow, I can hardly think of any that
count them all in your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. It's sad. It's really sad.
I agree, which also disappoints me because me, I'm a huge fan film guy too. I don't know if you like my channel. That's what I've been posting lately is fan film reviews, just a few minutes to look at them and tell you guys that I recommend them or I don't recommend them. I'm gonna cut them into 10 fan films into one video and do it for 15 minutes instead of separate videos, because there's not much to review after a while when you do a fan film, because it's even if they're completely different, it's a different quality of judgment. So it's more, hey, I think this one's good, you guys should check it out, this and this, check it out. That's what I should do. But it's the passion that goes into them, based off of ideas that already exist as well as ones that they throw in themselves, is brilliant. And there's one actor, do you know Jason David Frank?
Sounds familiar, but I can't put it.
He played the Green Ranger in Power Rangers. He played he's Tommy, he's the White Ranger, the Green Ranger, the Turbo and Red Zeo Rangers, the Black Dino Ranger. He has been in so much Power Ranger stuff. He's one of the, how Ryan Johnson and some other actors, Chris Evans and stuff, annoy us quite often with their attitudes on Twitter sometimes. Jason is completely the nicest dude across all social media. He is the king of cons. He's at every con event as early as he can, really tries to interact with everyone he can in every way, give him a good shake, give him a good thing, say a word or two, smile for a camera, and do something with them. He's one of the coolest interactors ever. And he's actually has a YouTube channel too, and he does lots of vlogs and he does some poems every now and then. He said he's had a pretty depressing life, but he tries to really not show it, but he puts it out into a 2-minute little video, and maybe somebody who's feeling bad can feel good from it too. And he he does lots of stuff now that are not official movies, but he's been involved in Power Ranger projects for I forget what the companies are, but he's done the Green Ranger versus Ryu from Street Fighter, and that's a YouTube video you can look up. There's there's the Shattered Grid comic series, he does a little trailer as Draken, doing it, which is the bad character in that, Tommy and that. Like, he does all these cool things for fun, kind of. I don't know if he gets paid for it. I assume he does, but
right.
He does this for fans. He loves the fans. He knows they love it, and
he's
cool. He's a part of this other project for another company called Ninjak versus the Valiant universe that is available on YouTube for free. It's like an hour long.
Oh, okay.
It's an awesome little movie. Like, it looks like the budget was probably not that much, but it looks really good regardless. And it's like, I recommend checking that out. And
what's it called?
It's called Ninjak versus the Valiant universe.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's based off of a comic book, but it looks like it's a movie based off of a fake comic book, and it's like done really well.
It looks pretty cool just from the thumbnails, so I'll definitely check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not the best, but I mean, it's not like a huge produced one, and it just seems pretty cool for one of the characters is like an Aragorn / Thor character.
Okay, nice.
Like, that sounds cool, right? Aragorn and Thor, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's
exactly.
pretty much an Aragorn Thor. He's like this dude with superpowers from the past, and he's like kind of righteous. It's just like,
that's cool. Yeah, yeah, and like I don't know, like I would honestly be totally fine with having non-big budget movies if they're written well,
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of where it comes to at the end of the day for me. I want like well-written movies with characters that I can relate to, That's the most important thing to me. Like, sure, the rest of it is nice stuff too, but if someone was going to say, okay, you can have like the most visual effects stunning movie of all time that's like, just full of just technical movie making, just top notch. Everything's top notch as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Or a movie that's like much better in like the writing, character development type of side of it. I would take that every day. So,
I agree. You see, I feel like just right now with what you're saying, like Infinity War. I know everybody loves it to top scale. I love it too, but I can't. To me, it's not that rewatchable. Like it's like I saw it and the visuals. A lot of it doesn't appeal to me. A lot of it's just kind of But I feel like a lot of the battles and fights could have been way better if it was more close quartered and wasn't so epic scale. Like you can still feel epic without it being to scale. I feel like there's lots of moments in movies that the tension builds so high because of the way the characters are acting about the situation that make you feel that same way rather than needing to see the huge armies clash and stuff. And it's like, I feel like if we got to see more intimate fights with Captain America and Tony Stark and everything, you get to see them get beat down, our heroes that we've seen flashy in the last movies be more up close and personal with these and see their choreography and stuff too a little bit. That'd be more intense. That'd be a better reaction because we care about them too. I feel like that would have helped, and they could have cut their budget down. Still would have been an amazing movie. Regardless, like
definitely.
I agree, and that's the thing. That's why I like the YouTube fan films too, because they don't have a big budget, and they really try to put their best in it as much as they can because that's what they can do. That's all they have is what they can put into it, and that the passion will show over any special effects. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a Star Wars fan film that's going to come out on the same day as Rise of Skywalker, and I'm going to try to point everybody to that guy because I talked to him too, and he really appreciates it. He's in Singapore, and and does that, and they had the Singapore 5's First Legion in his other fan film that he was in, and it's not a super great fan film. It's nothing like the Vader one, but it's like got that mix of it's on Earth Star Wars kind of like it's silly, but it's like it's still done well enough, shot well, good sound effects, good visual effects, and it's like he's like, I'm going to turn that town to the dark side. No, you won't. I'm going to kill the princess over here, and she cute. It's just like, and they go into a weird fight. It's like not that impressive. I still love that they did it. Like they went out and did it, and people don't understand that either. Like for people that don't have this as their job, go and do this. That is a lot of commitment and a lot of work, and I think that shows that people like it. And with YouTube, sorry, I'm talking a little bit, but like Ethan Van Sciver, like talking, like I'm the kind of person who never would have heard of him in my life. Like I never would have interacted with him in my life, never at all. But because of YouTube and because of Twitter and stuff, like I've been able to in some cases. So it's like when I first saw him from World Class Bullshitters, he's on there, and he's talking about Star Wars. He's kind of funny. I will check him out. He's doing his little iPad videos talking about something. Then he'll go, hey, and I also have this, little frog idea. This is blood honey. There's these wasps, and they come and suck out the blood and turn the white. Whatever. Back to Star Wars, and just every now and then he tease an idea. Heather Swain feeds him fried chicken or something. Wait, what? It's just like he teased this idea for like a week or two, and then he finally showed some images, and then would start doing the campaign like a month later. And I've never read a comic in my life up to that point. I didn't think they still printed them, to be honest. I was like, any comics that exist now are from the 90s, and then they shut down the factories was my thoughts. But,
right.
And then I'm like, oh, wow. So he's doing this whole thing. And like, he got me interested to buy it because of the story that he told.
Yeah.
He was telling the story, and I didn't even care that it was a comic book. I just wanted to see the story now. He got me invested in it, and because I can hear him and listen to him. And when I got it, it was like this guy that has been talking about this so passionately, and I can ask him a question about it, super chat or something in the chat, and he can respond and he can talk to you. Like, think about if actors or directors did that now. Like,
oh, dude. Yeah,
I would love that interaction. Even if people will hate them, of course, and say some stupid crap, it's also good for the ones that like them. I would say.
Yeah. And I think that is kind of where the future needs to go a little bit more with filmmakers and people. I don't know. I really think that we're going to get a lot more filmmakers outside of Hollywood. They're going to be game changers and stuff. And I think that that's really going to start changing the way that people make films, because people do want that kind of interaction with creators. And I think that is kind of where the future is going to be going. I don't know how soon that's going to be, but I think that eventually that's kind of where things will start to head. So
I agree. I hope so. Because I feel like that, I'd be more interested in a movie. And I think like Ryan Johnson, this is just an example, this right off the top of my head. Like if he were able to be, if he were on YouTube and did an hour live stream every now and then, just talking to the audience, talking to the chat, I feel like we get a different sense off of him. Even if we're criticizing the film or something, I feel like the interaction would be different. I feel like there'd be less hard feelings with it. We'd be okay. Yeah, he didn't really mean. He can correct himself in real time. Live and say, I didn't. Okay, I don't mean your man babies. I'm just. I was upset when you guys kept on bitching about it, but I understand something. It'd be like, okay, we can see him more as a person instead of just this asshole who tweets all that stuff to people that paid money to see his thing. And what the hell, So
yeah, I totally agree. I think that is where things are going to head someday in the future. And I think that'll be really cool. I mean, the cool thing about it is that kind of in the same way, I guess, with some other forms of art and stuff, I think that not just that, I think it is like filmmaking is starting to become a lot more accessible to more and more people, which is good. So I think that's kind of where more people who have access to the same tools that people in Hollywood do, where that's kind of where things are going to start shifting, I think, from Hollywood to creators, people outside of Hollywood. So
I hope so. I feel like a lot of people get diminished though too when they have an idea. When they have an idea and it doesn't come as quickly, it's like they just get really burnt out quick. And it's like I'm hoping that more people will realize that trying more will help more. I mean, like I'm at a stage where this will transition into talking about Taker's Crown in a minute. But it's like with myself. I want to be a film director someday. Like that, I figured out it took me a long time to figure that out because I have an interest in science. I have an interest in a lot of other things, and I didn't know what am I going to commit to. What can I really say that okay, I can do this job, and I love doing this job. I even took a class that take surveys and stuff that tries to place you in it. The highest thing that was for one thing was 30%. Like interest. It was like really hard to tell, and I'm just like, man, like I just want to. I want to do creativity, but like it's also the success from the money that I would make from it that I would want to do other things too. So it's like, those all kind of go hand in hand. And I'm like, at some point I was writing, I would write all the time, man. Like I had stories about, like I used to write fan fiction Star Wars things back in the day. And then I tried to write just like a regular book in general at one point. I've written hundreds of pages of stuff. And then it started to transition into movies. When I got Netflix, I had access to so many movies I could watch at once. And I was like, my first movie idea was finally all the movies come together. And that's what I titled it. And it was like, it takes place in a super mall, and there's going to be the umbrella corporations under it, and the aliens and predators crash nearby, and there's vampires. There's like this whole thing of combining all this stuff. Jackie Chan's there as himself and The Rock. It's just like, like all these weird. It was a stupid idea, but it was kind of funny. It would have been it'd make a great comedy. But it's like that was the first step to me wanting to be a film director at some point. I was like, it took a while to get to that point, but I'll keep on writing. And at one point, this was a couple of years ago, like 2015, I was writing, and I'm just kind of like, okay, let's pretend that this gets accepted somewhere. I go, hey, I got an idea. I want this to be a movie. Pretty much as a screenwriter, I didn't really know how much power they have. They have pretty much nothing. So it's like, if I were to sell the idea, I'm disconnected from it pretty much. So it's like they can do what they want with it, and maybe I get the pay from it, but whatever it makes doesn't go back to me. And let's say I want to make it, sell it, but be a part of it. Still minimal power, no control. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, that's just not what I want to do. And then at some point I decided, I guess because there's no film schools around where I live. I'm in Washington, in Oregon area. There's no film schools around here. There's some that teach some classes, but not much. Yeah. And it's just, so I'm very limited. It's not a film town. So I'm like, the only thing I can do right now while I'm going to school to get basic education, just as a backup, really, in case film doesn't work out, I have a degree to back up on. It's like, you just pick up a camera and start recording. My ideas were always hard to finish because I would always expand and make backstory and all these things. But I'm like, okay, all right, start a different way. Make something that is like 20 minutes or 10 minutes or something. If I can make that script and complete it and film it, good. Next step was, okay, how can I edit? I have no idea how to edit. I took a film production class in like a freshman year, but I didn't care about film as much at the time, so I don't remember anything. And I'm like, so I had to learn from scratch by doing it. And it's a horrible thing that I filmed, but it was kind of fun. It was kind of the first step into my YouTube, like a year later. And I was inspired by the Nostalgia Critic. A lot of people don't like him, but I loved how he'd do a review and have skits and production value in doing a review. Sure. And I gave that a lot of props. And like, because I've seen other people that, Chris Stuckman, like I saw Chris Stuckman and the Nostalgia Critic. Those are the first two reviewers I ever saw. And they're very different. And one just goes, hey guys, there's a movie and here's rating, talks about it for 3 minutes and he's done. It's like, okay. And then the other guys, have this whole production show and characters, costumes, lights, effects, all these things. And I was like, that's what I would kind of want to do right now. That's what I can start with. And then move from there. Maybe I can start doing a movie thing. I'll start with doing a review. I had one on The Mummy and Atomic Blonde and like a couple other ones where I have a skit with Inglourious Bastards. I like pretend that one of my characters is like got a gun on me and it's like trying to reenact the first scene a little bit for that, and like trying to do that. And it grew to me where I am now, where I made the Rookie's Quest trilogy, and I used what I could. Like, there's nobody in town that is in person that I can interact with to do a scene, but I'm like, hey, there's all these awesome people on YouTube. Let me try to, see if I can splice it to have them involved. See what can happen. And then, and with characters, I play usually in myself. I'll play all the characters myself and cut it as that way too, and have different characters. And I don't know, that's just how I've grown. And it's like, I want to be one someday. And that's right. Like, I'm losing my point where I was going with this, but it's like, that's how the passion has grown. Right. With it. And like, I don't know where your level is at now, because you made a film already, Taker's Crown. And, instead of starting with that, I guess take us through your film history. Like, how'd you get interested in film? Walk us through where you got to writing and making your movie.
Well, I kind of became I've always been really into like storytelling and stuff. Like ever since I was like I was kind of like in the age where I was like learning to like read and write. My parents were reading like stories to me like Lord of the Rings and Beowulf and Narnia and the Epic of Gilgamesh, all these types of stories, and all of them were just like really inspiring to me. And I just became fascinated with storytelling. And I pretty much as soon as I started to learn how to write, I began writing my own stories. And then kind of along the line, it kind of morphed into filmmaking after Lord of the Rings came out, and I started to watch like the behind the scenes type of content for Lord of the Rings.
I love their behind the scenes.
It's amazing. It's so good. And that type of stuff just inspired me to want to get into filming. I was like, that looks like the most fun job on the entire planet. And so like I want to be a filmmaker. So that's kind of where that started. And I bought like a $30 digital camera or something, and my friends and I, we just started to make movies. We made a bunch of like really just stupid movies and stuff. Like I don't know, we made tons. Like that's pretty much what me and my friends did whenever we hung out. We would just make movies. And so we made a whole bunch of crazy kinds. But then kind of along the way, I started to kind of upgrade my equipment a little bit. I started to buy better cameras and tripods and lights and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then in 2012 I went to a film academy thing and spent the time there, and it was like really, really good for me. I learned so much there, and it really inspired me to take my filmmaking to the next level. So then I made like a legit short film. I had like a cast. I found actors who were like aspiring actors who lived here in Michigan to be in the film. I found filmmakers who were aspiring filmmakers to help with like the crew and stuff, and we made like a short film. And it was a really educational experience for me. I learned a lot on that. I learned how important it was to do things like shot lists and storyboarding and all that type of stuff. It was like so important. So I learned a lot from that, and then I made another short film, and then I started to kind of like figure out where I wanted to go after that. And I was like, you know what, I have this idea for a fantasy universe that I want to create and stuff, and that's kind of where it led to like the Taker's Crown. And the Taker's Crown was kind of a 3-year journey. It started with me obviously like writing the script and stuff, and then after that I started to like I kind of did the same thing with what I did with my short film, where I found actors and filmmakers from the Michigan area who were all wanting to get into filmmaking as much as I was. And I kind of told them about my idea, and we all rallied together and we made the movie. Like it was really expensive.
Yeah.
It was really, really tough to make. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And I sacrificed a lot to get that movie made, but it was definitely an experience. I learned a lot about filmmaking in that experience, and I also learned a lot about, I guess, myself and just kind of the filmmaking industry in general as well. Yeah. Like, it really opened my eyes to the fact that, like, it really is about, a lot of it is about how, like, who you know and stuff in the filmmaking industry, and how lucky you are. Like, because there's like at least here in Michigan, there's kind of like a network of filmmakers that live here in Michigan, and if you're not really like in the network, then they don't really care about you, and that's kind of what happened with me with the Taker's Crown. Unfortunately, I was like, I'm making this fantasy film. I'm doing something that's completely different than anything else that people are making here in Michigan. And I was also part of like the Christian film industry at that point as well. But because I wasn't necessarily making like a Christian film, they didn't like care about me or anything, you know. You're
yeah,
like,
that's not the plot or anything.
Yeah, like so I wasn't really fitting in with that crowd. So it in a way, I guess it made it a lot harder for me because I wasn't really like
you were trying to make God's Not Dead.
No, I had no interest in making that. So yeah, like it was definitely it was a very educational experience. Yeah.
Was this for Taker's Crown or a different one?
This is for the Taker's Crown. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the Taker's Crown is on Amazon. If anyone wants to go check it out, you can watch it there.
Yeah.
I can't watch it now. Like I can't go back and watch it.
So that's okay. Yeah, I just watched it recently.
Yeah.
Without talking about that first, going on with what you're saying, like with the industry, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to like for the longest time, I've found it hard to imagine literally being in the film industry because it's like it's easy to think about how you think it will go, and people can tell you about it, but there's really no way to feel it. I assume there's no way to compare it to anything else because it's completely different than real life, pretty much, like than what we think it is. It's like that was my worry too. Is like, do I want to be in the film industry? The last time I talked to Nerdrotic, and this is a while back, I had Nerdrotic on my channel and Midnight's Edge, and they said they had some history with Hollywood a little bit, like they have had their hand in it, and it's just like not the best place around. And they're looking at me and they're like, "You would hate it, like you would hate Hollywood." I'm just like, oh, man, like that kind of sucks. But then I'm like, thinking of the positive side is that, like you said, we have a lot of tools at our own hands ourselves. And people these days want to support the little guy. They want to see the little one become something great. So it's like, there is some confidence there now. Like, that's where I'm kind of looking at right now. It's like, I don't know if I'd ever make it to the film industry. I mean, I'll try, but that's not my goal overall. It's like I want to be able to have people that want to see something happen, and if they support it, then that's great. That'll happen anyway. And
I mean that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I when I was making the Taker's Crown, my whole vision was to get accepted by the film industry, whether that was kind of more the independent film industry or the Christian film industry. I wanted to just kind of be accepted by an industry, right? And it didn't work out that way at all, at all. Like I wasn't making I wasn't making necessarily an independent film in the way that independent films are made, where they're pretty much made specifically to put in film festivals and stuff.
They're made to be seen and judged by, you meet this criteria here, you met this here, you told it.
I wasn't trying to make like an artsy independent film, which most independent films are. That's made specifically to go to like Sundance or something. That wasn't that's not my style. And then on the other hand, I wasn't really making a film that was for the Christian film industry, but I was like, hey, if I kind of make something kind of in the middle, maybe I'll kind of get accepted by someone along the way.
Somebody might like this, kind of catch their appeal, and okay.
But I kind of
one shot, youngster.
I kind of screwed myself over there a little bit because I wasn't making something that would get me accepted into a film industry necessarily. So, I mean, from that experience, I learned, hey, you know what? Whenever I decide to do my next project and stuff, I'm not going to really pursue a film industry. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to figure out how I can make this film in the most viable way I can, and I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to make it for my audience. Good. That's what I'm going to do. That's part of why I kind of went the YouTube route as well, because I was like, hey, this would be a good chance for people that actually want to know who I am and get to know me as a person. That's kind of where I can start from with my next film. It's kind of the same way with like the the comics guys, like Ethan Van Sciver and all these guys. Like they kind of do that with their comic books as well. And that's kind of where I'm going at it from this way. I'm kind of like in the what would you call it? This is kind of like my revised way of trying to get back into filmmaking and stuff,
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, it has to start with me having an audience to support me.
Yeah.
And then it has to go from there. And I think that for anybody who wants to be like a successful independent filmmaker in this day and age, you kind of have to go that route. if you're not going to be making a film that is geared for like Sundance or something like that, so
yeah, I agree. I'm glad that you're going with the with yourself route because I think that's one of the problems that we see in Hollywood. I don't know why independent films would have such requirements like that because isn't that kind of like why they exist, to be not so required, like to go off the rails with something different. Like I don't know why artsy would be the goal everybody wants to see, because not that many people want to see artsy. They want to see creative, want to see something with imagination, with if they want a noir, they want to see a good noir. If they want to see action, make it a good action. But it doesn't have to be limited to those specific things. Like I like see with Taker's Crown. Like it's definitely fantasy. It's definitely got this medieval / modern vibe to it. So like that's its own. I don't know what genre that would be other than fantasy.
Yeah,
but like I liked it for what it was with that. I wouldn't rate it very high personally, but I appreciate. But while watching, I really do appreciate the passion that goes into it. I can understand, the setting, the location you had to pick for a lot of the things, the people to do the things, trying to get them to act the way that you want to with it, and the fact that it's like it's not at the beginning of the story; it's at this farther point in the story, and there's more to come afterward. But it's like at this one point, so you got to get the history rounded up, you got to get characters established, you got to get the things rolling and going, and try to make it seem fun too. So it's a hard to hook people. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, whatever film I do next is not going to be involved in Taker's Crown at all. Like that whole thing is pretty much dead to me now. I'm going to be starting over completely new. So
you teased a sequel.
Yep, it's not going to happen. So
it's like I'd give this, like, if I'm honest, if I'm just judging it as a film in general, I would give it like a 4 or 5 out of 10. But on like if I'm judging it like on a fan film type of level, this is definitely like a solid 6. Especially with the heart in it, and the characters aren't that bad either. To be honest, I like the main character. He's this character lost at a time. He's he got one goal in mind for the most part, and trying to interact with the modern day youngsters, kind of, and it's a little different. The only thing that I loved and hated was the carrot addiction.
Oh yeah, right.
Like that would be perfect for a YouTube video. It's like, oh, I got a character and he's addicted to carrots.
Yeah, right.
It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. I was like, he didn't seriously write that. Oh my god, this is great. It's like some of the acting moments. I think I wrote down a few quotes when I was watching it. I was like, they said it like that. It's just like, okay,
yeah.
But some of the delivery was a little funny, but no, like I enjoyed watching it though, because I was like, oh man, he. I was imagining that you probably worked really hard to get to the point to make the movie, and make something that you wanted. And based on the first 5 minutes where it's giving the narration of what's going on, I imagine your writing was crazy. Like you probably had how much written down for script, how many pages, and how much did you not include, or did you
oh man,
you planned on expanding on it later? Like
I think the script was like 89 pages, I think, or something like that. So yeah, it was a decent sized script, and there was a lot of revision that went into that along the way as well. So
did you ever keep like side notes of characters and storylines and other stuff?
Oh, dude, like I am so obsessive about like all of that type of stuff. Like I usually spend more time writing the actual like outline and character outlines and stuff before I actually write the script. So.
Ditto. I have spirals in my closet, actually. I kept them because I want to look at how ridiculous it was. But it's like, I'd have, okay, so the main characters are these people, but they have parents. And where did they come from? And what happened to them? Why did they end up with that point with the parents of none of them have anything to do with anything. It's just if it's brought up, or if I want my character to refer to something in the past, I have continuity and a reason why, they are the way they are or something. Like that was how I was always thinking of it, but that was difficult for me because then I'd end up never writing the story. I just end up writing about the story,
right?
Actually writing the story. What happens though?
Yeah,
I don't know. Right. This is supposed to happen, but I don't know what happens really. Because,
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't know. Like, so I don't really know what I'm going to be doing next at this point. But I definitely want to get back into filmmaking at some point. But right now I'm just trying to kind of get back on my feet after literally giving everything to this film, you know. And I mean, it really took everything that I had to get this film made. And so I'm just trying to recover from that still, I guess. So
how long did it take you to film it?
How long? It took me about a year and a half in total to film the whole thing. So we, you know, I was kind of like working with a bunch of different people, and we all had different schedules and stuff. So I had to try to figure out how to get all that to work and stuff, you know. So altogether, I think we had 28 days of filmmaking, if I remember right. So, and then that's kind of like spread across, because we obviously, you know, in Michigan here, you can't really shoot in like the winter and stuff. So
Yeah.
like we shot in like the summer, a little bit in the fall before like the leaves started turning, because then that would not really work with the rest of the continuity.
Right.
And then we had like the winter, and then we shoot like the next year. So yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
How much was the budget, if you don't mind, or I don't know if you.
It was around like 35,000 to make the film. So yeah.
Dang.
It was a lot.
Was that all just from you? Anybody else contribute, or investors or anything?
I had one guy contribute some money to it, but about 80% of that was all my money. So
yeah. Still anything over 10K. Like
yeah.
For an independent, that's a lot to put in there. Yeah. When you first made it, did you put it directly on Amazon, or was there another distribution you tried?
No, I put it directly on Amazon, and then I kind of I did go after like another distributor, but then they kind of got exposed as being just a scam and stuff. And
yeah, don't want to have that.
Yeah, so then that kind of put the end to that whole thing. So
do you think now you try to get it onto a streaming service, or you try to make it DVDs, or how would you try to get that?
Honestly, I haven't done anything with the film for.
No, I'm saying in general, I mean for like another project, if you were to do one.
If I was going to do another project, I don't really know. I'd probably try to figure out a more I guess pragmatic way to get the film out there for people. It would probably be like some sort of digital service or something. I don't really know where I'm going to go with that next time. I definitely want to look into that before I actually make the movie, though, to figure out.
Good idea.
Yeah, to figure out where I want to actually go with it. Because with this movie and stuff, like I was, you know, it was kind of my own fault in a way, but like I was like thinking, hey, I can like, you know, get this movie into like some theaters and stuff like that. And then I got into one theater, and it cost like half my soul to
Is that included with the budget, or is it separate?
That was included with the budget and stuff.
Okay, good. I was about to say $35K plus another 5,000 play for one night or something. Like,
yeah,
no.
It was insane. It was like, yeah, the theater route is not the way to go with independent films like this. So
like,
yeah.
I think it would be cool, but right, you have to have the audience there as well and willing to pay.
Yeah,
like, you know, and exactly. It's like, I don't know how much you'd make compared to, because it's showed at the theater. I don't know how much revenue you'd make off a ticket sale, technically.
Mm-hmm. Well, the way that the theater worked for me was I paid like a flat rate, and then basically it was my job to try to make the money after that. So. So yeah,
might as well go with YouTube almost crowdfunded.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll probably do something like that next time. What I'm kind of thinking is I'll probably like build a website around the movie or something, and then like people can like watch it there on the website. I'll probably I'll look into like some other like digital platforms like Amazon and stuff as well. I'm assuming that Amazon still probably has kind of more of a, you know, independent filmmaker friendly type of platform. I haven't looked at them ever since I put.
When you had Taker's Crown up there, how do they give you any revenue from it? Is it just kind of like an open account that, like, you know, if somebody views it, that you get like $1. Like I have no idea.
It's not much at all. Like it goes according. If I remember right, I haven't looked at it in a while, but if I remember right, it's per minute, I think, or no, it's per hour. So basically, like every hour you make like 30 cents. Every hour of watch time of your movie, you make like 30 cents or something.
What?
So yeah, yep.
Oh my god! I thought at least a few bucks. Like
no.
Like, I imagine it wouldn't be. You might as well put it on YouTube. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm gonna do a lot of research about that next time I make a film and stuff. It's more than likely probably going to be mostly just all digital next time as well. And next time I'm going to be a lot more smart with the way that I go about making a film and stuff.
A lot more smart.
Yeah. But, I was a lot younger and very passionate.
It's good experience. It's great experience though.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Going through that will make sure that never happens again.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and the cool thing about it is that I'm kind of like looking. I've actually been following kind of the like the comic book guys a lot, and kind of seeing how they handle things and trying to kind of figure out how I can kind of convert that into a filmmaking experience. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking into that too, but it's much different with film than with comic books, and it's a completely different situation. It's like they have the whole comic industry is pretty much on the downhill, dying for the most part. Marvel and DC comics are not really spiking up, as to where film, even though a lot of it is crap, it's still very successful. It is, if anything, it's on an incline or it's flatline. It hasn't been going down though. I'd say quality is going down, but money's going up. So as long as that's going, people, I don't know how much interest people will have in independent film projects. I mean, I think people still enjoy them, but because they'll still enjoy the next however many bland movies come out, they'll still pay for those too. So, I don't know. They said, okay, instead of paying for that, I'd pay for this. Mm-hmm. Like I tout that's 1% too. It's hard to see, hard to say, but I agree. I'm trying to figure that out too, and that's why. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's kind of why I think that, like, which I'm kind of looking this way as well. I'm probably going to be doing more of a serialized thing moving forward. I think that is a lot more of a viable direction for independent filmmakers as well, because that kind of content people can eat up whenever they want and stuff. It's a little bit more of a digestible thing for people who are taking in so much already to kind of they probably would be a little bit more open to supporting things like that anyway, especially if it's more of a digital type of thing. And so that's probably where I'm going to be heading in the future, is more of a series type of thing instead of an actual like film. So
yeah, I agree. It's like I'd like them to be films, but people just don't have the time or the interest or the available interest. Like they've invested a lot into things, and now you come up too along with I don't know what the hell. Like I imagine it's very hard for people to get interested in these types of things, and the longer they see it, they're like, oh, that's an hour movie or like an hour and a half, and I don't know about that. I want to wait 20 minutes to get interested. I want to be 20 minutes and have that be the end. Like that's
exactly
pretty much what it is. And I agree. Like the short film is technically what it is, but it's telling the same story over multiple episodes. It's series.
Exactly.
So that's how I agree too. That's how I'm thinking of it now. It's like I like to do my Rookie's Quest, but like that trilogy, they were each a little bit over an hour each. Yeah, I planned on having them being an hour and a half each, but I decided to cut back I cut out a lot of stuff in the final products because I'm just like, I could have this and I could ask these people to do something, and I just could have all this extra story involved, but it's like, I just know that I'm trying to imagine somebody sitting through and watching this, and I'm like, I'm actually surprised if they sit through the whole thing as it is. For an hour and they're sitting and watching it and they haven't left yet. I'm surprised. So I'll leave it if it's more than an hour and a half. People are only going to watch maybe that hour anyway and not see the end or care.
Yeah,
so.
And I think that it's kind of like you have to take the baby steps. Like if you want to get to the point where you're making like a big budget film or whatever,
Yeah.
You can't really go the route that I went, where I tried to do that first. You gotta kind of build up to that, I think. And Jen's Peter has an idea that I kind of looked into. You could do a cartoon CGI of films. I've thought about that as well, like kind of going more of like the animated route as well. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It's this show called Dragon Prince. It is
I haven't seen that yet.
Good. It is so good. It's a fantasy show and stuff, and like that was like, man, this is so good. I could totally get into something like this moving forward. So I don't know. Like right now, I don't know exactly where I'm going to be heading in the future. I know that I want to continue to create, because I go crazy when I'm not like writing or thinking of stuff. So
I feel you.
Yeah. So I know that I definitely want to continue to do this. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to execute it next time. So we'll see. But
I hear you on that completely. And I'm at that point too, where like, cause part of me wants to stop, go, okay, just try to do something else. But I'm like, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like I've got too much drive in me to, and by now, I mean, I've come to a point where I can see it happen. And same with you, like after you made your first film, you're like, I am capable of seeing something through. So why would you want to go, no, I can't do it. Like you go, yes, I can. Like you can do it. It'll take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but and time, but it'll happen if you try. Definitely. So I think animation is really cool, and I think a lot of things are underrated when they're animated. People go, it's for kids, or it's even if it's bloody and gory, they go, it's just cartoony or something. But it's like you can express so much in the 2D form, and the shock look of horror on their faces is more horrifying than a human can make sometimes. It's like their true fear is exaggerated tenfold, and it's like wow, they are freaked out. They can make it visually rememberable in your head.
Yeah, especially if it's like serialized content as well. Like Ruby, I don't know if you've seen Ruby.
I've heard about it a lot, right? Kitty talks about that a lot, but no, I haven't seen that.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a fantasy animated series done by Rooster Teeth, and it's like a series and stuff, but they do really well with that, because it's like each episode is like, I don't know, like 20 minutes, something like that. So it's like it's easily consumable by people. Like, they could watch them on their phone, they can watch it on their computer, they can watch it wherever, and it doesn't really take too much time out of their day, but they can still be very supportive of it. And I feel like that is kind of where I will be heading. It's kind of doing more of like that easy bite-sized kind of content, but I still want it to be really enjoyable and fun, and stuff that people can talk about. That's kind of a balance that you have to try to find. So
I agree, and I'd be looking forward if you do go into the animation stuff. It'd be cool to see some projects, or like it's hard to tell, because I kind of agree with you. And again, this goes back to the Comics Gate and compared to film stuff. Like they can get hold of some writers or printers. They have their process they have to go through. Not saying it's easy, of course.
Yeah.
But okay, that's them and what they have to do. But it's like for a filmmaker, you probably have to do most of the job yourself already. You have to do the majority of the work. Like you could find an editor, you could find a script editor or something too. You could find all these other things, but probably best to do most of them yourself, and then get equipment yourself. Like I don't even know who somebody would really go to help in a film project. Really, like I don't really know. Like maybe somebody that's professional with lighting and stage setup.
That costs a lot, but
makeup, prosthetic if you want a monster or something in there.
I mean, it is very different as far as like, trying to compare like comics writing to like filmmaking and stuff. But at the same time, I think that there's some things that you can learn from it, at least as far as like how they, they're creating comics that they are kind of like bringing their audience on the journey of creating as well and stuff, and kind of trying to make it a little bit more of like they're trying to make it a little bit more of like a customer friendly relationship type of thing with their audience and stuff.
Yeah.
And I like that. And that's probably what I would try to do more of in the future and stuff as well. So, but yeah, like I am really into fantasy. Like I love fantasy. And I'm frustrated because there's not very much good fantasy out there right now. Like Dragon Prince, that's why I highly recommend Dragon Prince. It is so good. It is
Check it out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. And if I was gonna try to do more like fantasy type of stuff, it would probably have to be more in like the animated format because it's really tough to do fantasy and live.
You have to have actors, you have to have special effects, you have to have sound. Watching Lord of the Rings, that was the most. I mean, just to get the arrows that wisp over the castle at night, the amount of areas they had to go to get the sound, to get the noise of the octopus monsters for that brief few seconds. They had to go to different areas in the forest and like do plungers and different items on the puddles to get sounds that they want for sounds. It's like they had to have a whole football stadium stomp in sequence and pattern to get the illusion of an army. It's like, I love that type of effort. It's like that alone is like this is why I also love DVDs and why I'm disappointed that streaming, try to have more points for streaming if they had behind the scenes director commentary, etc. available. But since they don't, I'm getting really frustrated with that because I want to see how they make a lot of these shows, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even. Like, let me see how you guys are doing this. Walk me through your process. Oh, you don't have it available? Oh, look on YouTube. It's a little annoying. Little annoying. You have to do all this extra looking for. I'd rather just have it be with the package, but
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I love watching behind the scenes content a lot. So I'm always very fascinated when they kind of take you how they make things happen in their movies, especially with like movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Anything that has like big battle sequences, I'm always super fascinated how they make those happen. It's really, really awesome to see. So.
It's fun to hear how things almost happened as well, where it's like, could that have been better or way worse? who knows? I've heard heard that in the original trilogy there was going to be another actual Skywalker at some point, and it's like a third or like another Force user. I heard about that. It was a possibility, but they're like, no, don't do that.
Right. Yeah, I love that stuff so much. So
me too. And so like with the film, I guess Filmgate isn't the right word for it because that's not what this is. It's just independent films on YouTube. I don't know what we'd call this with ourselves.
I don't know. I don't know because like it. At this point, that's the thing is that there is like so much content out there that's being produced like by now we have like Netflix and Amazon and all of these different companies that are getting into the whole filmmaking / TV series making game or whatever too. So.
Video games are pretty much doing movie making now too.
Like,
okay. This is one idea I had a while back too, and it sounds dumb, but it's like, what if all of Hollywood, like every creator of media, like for just one day, just drop your stuff, just drop your stuff, leave the office. Go to the bar, go have a drink, go get some food, get some, stuff that belly, have some, relax, take a chill day, leave your stuff where it was. Doesn't matter. Have sex with your wife and your husband or whatever, have a great night. And then, take a great shower in the morning, have a good, some pancakes and a French toast or something. And then come into work, get dressed. Don't be lazy and come into work. Okay. Sit back down. And then go, all right, what are we doing now? instead of okay, let's pick up where we left off. No, don't do that. Just rethink yourselves. Just one day. Think we'd live. There's enough content to last. Just take a break. Take a break for a sec. And instead of going, let's revamp this. No. Do this first. If you want, if eventually you can touch the reboot and remake stuff eventually, but let's wait. Another idea I had a while back, which is kind of funny, was like a nostalgia month where it's like you can only release remakes and sequels and reboots in 1 month. Fill that month with the reboots and stuff. The rest of the year, original.
Right. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
That's kind of why I've been getting a lot more into like TV shows recently as well, because I've been finding a lot of good TV shows that are not what you typically see like on the big screen, and I really appreciate that. Like I started to watch the there's this show on Amazon called The Man in the High Castle, which is really good so far. I've been really enjoying it, and I don't know. I've been really enjoying a lot more of like the TV type of content because it's a little bit more character driven, a little bit more original than what we are kind of getting from Hollywood. Like a lot of the content from TV has been a lot more original than like movies and stuff. So I've been kind of enjoying that recently. So
I agree. Now, real quick, I got a $2 super chat from Rosetta Allen. Says just to send you some love from my stream. I appreciate that, Rosetta. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if you've been listening this whole time or if she's doing her own stream.
Okay.
She's always streaming. She's a great streamer.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the like radio host type of vibe. Waking up in the morning, I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna stay up till how late in the night?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She's got the passion for it. YouTube's a good place for her, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But no, with the filmmaking, I with the shorts and TV stuff, I don't know. I feel like they do less tropes in TV shows now. Sometimes in some shows they do less. Yes. They don't do as many tropes. They try to not do them, and I understand too. Like for film lovers like us, we do reach a point where we've seen the same thing a bunch of times.
Yeah,
and it's like, is it our fault? Is it that there's just not that many out? I mean, if we're a normal moviegoer that didn't see things as much as we do, would we think this content is better or worse? Like. I don't know. Like there's some like Avatar, for example. A lot of people find that controversial, where it's like, hey, it's just I was gonna say Sailor Moon, Pocahontas. I don't know why I thought that for a second. It's Pocahontas in space, or it's Dances with Wolves in space. But it's like, yeah, but Star Wars is just another hero's journey in space too. Like it just happens all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings is kind of a similar theme of some kind with some other stuff before it existed in some way, shape, or form based off of it. So everything has been done, it seems, but everything's told in different ways, which makes it more interesting. The character, the execution, the setting, all these elements are, play into our enjoyment. So, in that sense, I don't know if it's the fact that, something's a trope or that we see it too often, like The Rock. Like he himself seems to be a trope.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's just himself in every film.
Yeah,
I'm The Rock, and I'm starring in this. They'll just have movies titled The Rock, guest starring Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, right.
He's the star, but Lord of the Rings is a guest.
Like, yep.
That's what I feel like doing.
I don't know if you've seen The Boys.
No, a lot of people have recommended that show, but I have not watched that yet.
The Boys is so good. You need to watch The Boys. Oh, dude, it is amazing. But like that is like the best superhero content that we've gotten in years. And that's why, like, besides like Joker, I would say is like right up there with The Boys. But The Boys obviously came out before Joker did. So I was like freaking out about that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. We haven't gotten anything this good in superhero content in forever. So like, I guess that kind of also kind of feeds into my example of how like TV shows are, I think, being a little bit more original than movies are nowadays, and they're also being a little bit more riskier than movies are nowadays as well, which I like. I like it when movies, or when like stories in general, I guess, take risks.
Except for the Arrowverse.
What's that?
Except for the Arrowverse, they don't take risks.
Yeah, no,
they bring all their characters back because people liked them.
So. Yeah, yep. But yeah, The Boys. Read it, Josiah. I see you, Black Angus. How's it going, man?
Yeah, he's recommended The Boys a few times too. But
okay,
I guess I got The Boys confused with something else. It's called like Good Boys or something.
Okay,
little kids that just curse and like sexual whatever things. Yeah. I was like, I mean, that probably looks funny, but I thought that was what everybody's talking about. No, The Boys is something else. Okay.
No, The Boys is fantastic. Yeah, highly recommend that.
But I got a $2 super chat from Orville Nation. Thank you, my friend. Says, missed it. What kind of film projects are you doing? So Josiah just went through telling us about how he made Taker's Crown a couple years back. That was a fantasy genre, and that is available on Amazon Prime. It's the Taker's Crown. The Taker's Crown or just Taker's Crown?
The Taker's Crown, yep.
The Taker's Crown, okay.
Yep.
And I'm working on a new project right now myself, too, called The Rookies Legends. And it's going to be the finale to my Rookies sequels. My Rookies, I don't know what to call it, because I had the Rookies Test trilogy and the Rookies Quest trilogy, and now I'm making the Rookies Legends series. So I don't know what to call it, but that's what I'm working on, and that involves a lot of people in the community. Actually, well, I'm not going to give too much information now. I don't think I gave the info yet. The Gods of Cinema will play into that, though. You guys don't know what that is yet, but you will. The Gods of Cinema. The Gods of Cinema will awaken. That's all I'll say.
Nice.
For the tease. I will be having a beta cover of the movie coming out soon when my artist is done in the next couple days. So I will be able to tease a little bit, but I'm not going to give any information on it. So
that's cool. Yeah.
I'm going to be doing little teases here and there, but not giving away the whole thing yet.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I do have some ideas for you to be in it too, but not as a main character. But I can kind of tune in the brief cameo you had in the Rookie's Quest and make that a character. I can have a brief interaction. So I'll be in contact with you about that soon. I have an idea for something kind of funny.
Okay, sounds good, man. Yeah, I'll happily help you out with that for sure. Anything you want me to do. So
thanks, man. Yeah, we can start wrapping up soon if you want. It's been a little over 2 hours. But man, talking, I love this conversation, man, because I feel like we could be talking about anything. It took forever to talk about Ticker's Crown, which was why they wanted to have this conversation. Like, no, there's other things I could talk about now too with this.
Yeah, no, we should definitely talk about this more often and stuff. And because I think that we could probably shoot off some pretty good ideas off of each other as well. You know, kind of ways that we can kind of get some of the stuff. I mean, you know, we had like the whole, like, you know, Black Angus wanted to help us kind of get some projects going and stuff. I'm not really at that point yet right now. I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do moving forward. But yeah, I think that if we started doing some more of that type of stuff for like even just like, you know, the audience we have in the Phantom Menace, I think that would be pretty cool. So
I agree. Yeah, I'm right now. The way I see it is like with my Rookies Legends project I'm doing. This will be kind of the last one that I do that'll be just YouTube based, as far as like, you know, using YouTubers. Like I'll still probably always have some way to have a cameo from somebody, like a phone call or something. But going forward after that, I'm gonna really try to get in contact with people nearby. Like reach out, flyers, you know, post on Facebook or something. I'm going to try to get real people to shoot something in my town if I can and see what I can do. Because like I love doing the YouTube things, and I wish I can travel to everywhere and get scenes with you guys, because that'd be awesome. I wish that Celebration was sooner. It's going to be in the summer this time, right?
I think so. I honestly, I don't know when.
I heard it was in August. I heard it's going to be in August.
Okay.
I wish if it was before summer, that would be perfect, because that's before I would finish filming this, you know, and I'd be able to have I'd be able to meet up with the Phantom Menace and be able to do a lot of these things. That's where a lot of people are in this. So
right.
That'd been cool.
Yeah, if you can find people in your own area to help you like actually make some of these projects, like that would be the coolest thing. Like It's hard for me to find people in my area that are, I guess, have the drive in the passion to actually want to do it as much as I do. And that's kind of always been one of the frustrating things about it for me. Because I'm like, whenever I get on a project, like I am completely driven to do it, you know, and it's hard to find people that kind of match me with that level of passion.
Most people have, like, they don't mind helping out, or if they get a little something out of it, they might do something, but they never really put it in enough. They don't really care as much. They could miss a day and they don't care, because it's like, I don't care. It's not my project.
Yeah, right.
Like even for me right now, like there's only one class in my college that has anything to do with film, and that's just called Intro to Cinema. There's no other classes beyond that. It's, like, there's like an English writing class, but there's like very small things. There's theater, which I'm gonna do a video one day is showing how theater is completely different than film, because people were like, oh, just take theater. I'm like, that's not the same at all. And they're like, no, but it is. I'm like, it's not. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, not at all.
Yeah, I respect people that do theater, like, but that's
but it's like, that's not the career path I'm going with. That'd be a waste of my time.
Exactly.
You know, maybe acting would be the only thing I can gain out of that, but that's not even what I want to do. So
right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, for now, I'm only doing that because I'm the only actor that can be in my things right now. So it's like, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I do need to kind of do another thing where I kind of scout around to see if I can find people in my area that want to do some stuff like that with me. I don't know. Like, I think a lot of it does have to come down to, if you're just finding people to be like, hey, you want to do filmmaking with me or whatever, like, you kind of have to, I think that this is probably going to be my approach next time. I'm not just going to be like, hey, I have like this vision, this idea. Do you want to get on board and help me bring this to life? Like, you kind of have to make them even more involved. Like, okay, let's sit down and think of a story together of what we want to create. You know?
That'll be their investment into this.
Exactly.
I agree. That's how I kind of am thinking about approaching some things, because like they'll go, oh, well, I'm just helping you do your thing.
Yeah.
As to where it's like, oh, help me do our thing.
Exactly.
You know? I'm the main guy that has the experience here. You can give your creative ideas, and if I help bring these to light, we can make this together. Wink, wink. Here, you know, can, you know, some Palpatine manipulation.
Yeah. This is our thing.
Yes, we'll rule the universe together. There's some people in my math class that, like, I wouldn't mind. I could see them being a role of some kind, but it's like, comes down to what I doubt they'd have any passion for it, and I don't know if they'd be interested in it. They'd be too shy or something. A lot of girls are shy to be on camera sometimes. If they don't want to be an actress, they don't want to be seen acting. You know, they don't want to embarrass themselves. But it's like, I tell people, it's like, look at any one of my videos and then tell me you'll be fine, because I embarrass myself all the time. Like, that's what I do. I'm beyond shame now. Like, you know, if you're seen next to me doing this, you'll stand out to be greater. So it'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're like, you know, on a, like, in college and stuff. I don't know. Have you tried to find people like in your college that would be interested in doing stuff with you?
Like, recently, I've been thinking about it, but it's just about the end of my quarter. Like, this week is going to be finals.
That's true.
But the next quarter starts like mid-January, and that's before I start filming my own thing over here. And what I want to do, at least to start feeling out, putting feelers out, is I'll ask if I can put flyers around the campus and billboards in different sections of the school, as well as maybe drop by the cinema class. And you know, they like, the cinema class isn't that advanced with anything. You watch at least 8 films in there, and you know, watch them, which I found quite a few good films from there, by the way, that people that do not talk about any of these in our communities. So so I'm going to do some reviews on them soon to bring them to light over here. But it's like, you know, a lot of people in my class, when I took it, some of them had great cameras. They had like 4K cameras that, you know, I should have kept contact with them. Like, at all. But I didn't know any of them. I only knew like 3 or 4 people that I talked to. The rest didn't care about it at all. And it's like, even if I didn't know them, we could have all at least added each other on Facebook, made a little film group. And if one of us needed a project, could have helped each other out. And so the way I would pitch it is like, I would say, hey, can I talk to your class real quick? And, you know, go, hey guys, I'm doing a YouTube project. I'm going to do a film. And, you know, I want some people to at least help me, you know, with the camera, you know, transportation. I can help them get involved with it. And, you know, they're novices themselves too, probably, because they're in intro cinema class. And I can kind of help them, you know, make them feel like I'm teaching them, and, you know, give them involvement with it, get credit on a big, you know, on a project. To them, if they are not as familiar with YouTube, for all they know, 1,000 subscribers is good. Like, is big, and, you know, get their name out with something rather than starting with nothing.
I mean, the fact that you're monetized on YouTube as well probably would help kind of like be like, hey, I'm like legit, you know? So
yeah, exactly. And I don't know, I try to get them at least involved in basic ways. Like, you can play a character, but you're not going to be a main character. You're just going to be an extra for this if you want. Get comfortable behind the camera or in front of the camera. And, you know, as a camera person, I can help you hone in some camera skills so that you can, you know, film me doing this, and I can give you credit for it. If you want to come on a live stream and talk with us about film, get to know our community, I can help you get your first steps. You know, that's how I'd want to pitch it to them, because YouTube wasn't in my mind when I was in my cinema class. It was just, you know, maybe pick up a camera and maybe start doing something. So
definitely. Make some flyers like you kind of like in the Uncle Sam like pose and stuff, like
I want
you or something.
I'd probably have all my characters that I have. Jeffy Froze, the high one. You know, Jester's the athlete that thinks he gets chicks even though he's kind of fat. You know, it's like, you know, have the Jeffro one is the Subway employee. The Jester's the, you know, hood. You know, Deep Boys and stuff. I made some new ones, man. Jeff Rico's. You got like this a pink shirt with the band around it that looked like he's. It was supposed to look like Rambo, but it just looks like a Taliban or something. It's like I gave him a Russian accent that mixes between that and Indian. So it's like, I am Jeff Rico. How are you doing, Josiah? It's like different characters. So I can edit them on a poster. We want you. We all want you.
Yeah.
They'd be like, wow, this guy is kind of weird. He's got all these characters. Okay, maybe they'd be interested.
Yeah. I'm getting like, I don't know, Split vibes from this or something.
Like you watched My Rookie's Quest, right? Or at least a couple. Did you watch episode 2?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Which one I'm glad that you did, by the way. I'm surprised that like you had Midnight's Edge, and I think Jeremy even watched some of it. I was like, wow, okay. Yep. I was proud, but it's like I had the Dark Jeff Squad versus me, and it's like I think it was hard for me to explain it in the story, but I'll explain it enough in this to make it clear again. Those Jeffs were from another universe. Also, there's 3 different things. So the first Jeff that came off of me was Jeffrey, and this was the first thing I ever filmed where I created him. It was before I had any talent. It was my first camera. It was my first thing I ever did before YouTube, and I was like, okay, so the struggle is going to be I'm wanting to be a film director. I want to write things. So I'm writing a script and stuff, and then later I'm like, wow, well maybe I should focus on business because this isn't working out that well. And then Jeffrey gets born, the business guy, glasses, nice jacket and stuff. He's a little more, money driven. Don't play around with that kid stuff. And then I had him split off from me. So he was the first split personality, the business Jeff. And then later I had other Jeffs come in from another universe. Do you remember the 2017 eclipse? 2017. That was like a big event, kind of.
Oh yeah, I do. Yep, I do.
Yeah, I made that. I was like, on that day is when the Jeff was in. There's like an event, and it triggered some portal in my closet in the spare room to teleport all these Jeffs from another universe in here. And from my perspective, they've always been around, so I didn't act like it was anything weird. Because in my first videos, I act like it's normal, and I like did a prequel thing where I'm like, oh, this is how they came to be.
Right.
And then later, I had Jeff from the future teleport in from 2020.
Yeah.
And now I'm tying his story back into this next thing I'm doing, even though I had no idea what I would do with the character.
Right.
Later. So it's like, that's how I made the different Jeff characters. And so now they're from another universe. But
that's fun. Yeah, that's cool.
Fun. It's fun. And I had to do that because there's no one else to interact with. I'm like, how can I even do a video?
Yeah.
How can I film me doing anything when there's no one to do anything with? It's just, where's it going to be? The camera's on me while I'm doing what? What am I doing? My dialogue, would I just be talking out loud or voiceover? Like what?
Yeah,
I got no idea what to tell. I'm like, I'm just in my room, my backyard. What am I doing? So I'm like, I'll create a character to cut back and forth with.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of part of the whole filmmaking thing where you gotta kind of overcome those types of obstacles and get creative. So
that's like the first time I did it, I felt so stupid. I'm just like, I'm like, hey Jeffrey, what are you? God, I'm talking to myself. I'm just like, there's no one home. And I'm just kind of like, hey, and then I tried to do my first fight scene, and that was atrocious. I had no idea how to film it. I shot it from the side, going like, ugh, and then cut to it's like horrible, and I like move the camera in and out of the face to, kind of simulate a hit, and I do different noises for the hits, like I did the Mario ching pong pong, like noises. It was awful, but it was funny because it was
fun watching you try to figure that type of stuff out. So
and you can see in the Rookie's Quest it's improved since those days. If you ever watch my very first stuff, it's horrible, and in this it wasn't easy. It's not great looking, but it's arm comes in and then sound effect comes out. So
I was kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool how he figured that out. So
sometimes I'll roll my sleeve up or something to do like make it look like they came in and punched me in the face. Somewhat effect.
I thought that was cool. Yep.
Thanks, man. And it's like doing that stuff's tiring. Like trying to film those scenes. And it's like and again, like I'm putting in effects later, and these are with effects that work better with Adobe that I wasn't using. And so there's the one that I released in the Rookie's Quest 2. It was incomplete at the end. I wasn't able to do my final edits because I gave myself a deadline that I couldn't keep. So I had to release it without finishing it. Same with part 3. When I released part 3, I didn't have the visual effects in or the sound effects for the people giving energy. So I had to do that later to just that. And I was just like I so wanted to have that in it, but I stayed up for over 30 hours editing to make it to the date. And then with YouTube, it still has to render and upload. And that takes if it's an hour long, it'll take over 2 hours to upload. So I'm just like, I got to get done. I just have to upload it as it is and hope for the best.
Yeah, right.
And, but I was glad there's over 30 people watching live the whole time on each one. So like this community is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
for sticking to that. And I'm like, I always wonder how people think looking at my weird projects because it's just me. And I'm like, I have the NPCs introduced as like characters, like, what are you doing, me?
Yeah,
and I'm
right.
Like, will they get it? Do they think it's something else? Which a lot of people are like, is that Slender Man? Is that like supposed to be a green screen monster? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue how to do that, guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like Slender Man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Batman maybe, but not Slender Man.
Yeah, it was really cool, like seeing everyone's reactions in the live chat as it was playing and stuff. It was pretty cool. So,
I like using Mary Mayhem as Rita Repulsa, Sister Tonian as Kyla Jeremy. I liked keeping that a secret. People are like, oh shit, that's Sith. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And I used Sith and I talked about it because on Odin's live streams, there's like a joke where Sith was trapped in his closet or something. Like, oh, he feeds me sometimes and whatever. And I'm like, that's how you become Kylo Jeremy.
Yeah,
you put up with this for like over a year, and then you festered with you. You've been able to contact us while you're in the closet, but that's not, that's not doing enough for you. You need to get free. And then you just grew into Kylo Jeremy, and came back in time with future Jeff. And then like I made the story later based off of past things I set up. And that's fun. That's the fun part of storytelling, I guess. It's like a lot of ideas I have don't make any sense, but then thinking about it for a while and thinking about something, just a joke that happened, can form it into a story.
Right.
Rita, with Mary and Rita, I was like, hey, because I was like, I was going to have Mecha Random actually play a character in the story, but she was too busy. This was around when she was traveling or doing something. So I was like, I can't do that. So I was like, Mary, I need a filler here. Can you do Rita again? And I wasn't going to have Rita in the story after episode 1, but I was like, okay, so I'll put her in there, but it'll be after Rita was defeated, she took host on Mary, and Mary played, Mary played Rita. So why not have like how I have different characters, but she's got like a werewolf thing, but with Rita.
Right. Right.
So that became that idea.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. If you, I don't know if you've heard of these guys, but there's one guy called Long Beach Griffey. He's a YouTuber. Long Beach Griffey, look him up. And then I can't remember the other guy's name. Let me see if I can find it here real quick.
It comes up right away. Okay.
Yeah. Check out his stuff because he does a lot of, like, pretty much all of his skits are just like him doing it on his own. But you might be able to like learn a couple things from seeing how he does it. His content is like nothing like your content at all.
Oh, I know. I think I've seen this guy on Facebook feeds.
Yeah, but like his technique, he like I said, he does it all himself. So you might be able to learn some stuff from the stuff that he does. And then look up Caleb City as well. They both kind of do a lot of their stuff just on their own, but they're playing different characters. So just something that you can look into to see if you can like learn any, techniques from what they do and stuff. So, yeah, they do cool stuff.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate that. Are you good for a little bit longer, or want to start closing out?
I could probably go for a little bit longer. Yeah.
All right. Like, 10 minutes or so, 15.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then, the other person that I can kind of think of that kind of does that type of stuff as well is the, what's he called? Nigahiga. I don't know if you've heard of Nigahiga. He's another YouTuber.
No, I've not heard of that one.
Okay. So it's, Nigahiga. is his channel name. But if you look at like some of his older content, he did a lot of content where it was just like him, but he was playing like 4 or 5 characters in the same scene and stuff. So you might be able to find some stuff from him as well. So
okay, I got all their tabs up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check those guys out, man. Thanks for the suggestions.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna show you a little something.
Okay.
Have I shown you my actual movie idea that I had a while back?
I don't think so. No.
All right. This was I drew this storyboard in my cinema class, my intro to cinema.
Oh, okay.
They want us to make a little storyboard thing, and
yeah.
I had the impression, because this is what she said. She was like, "Oh, you can just do stick figures for the drawings of the storyboards."
Right.
I was like, "Is that what's required? Is that what they do?" That's what I thought. Apparently not. I saw Red Gaze had a little Fandom Menace / Comic Skate stream last week, and I was talking to some Comic Skate guys, and they're like, "No, people put a lot of effort into storyboards. What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And they like showed the Star Wars ones. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like in my class, I was the only one who did this much detail. Everyone else did stick figures.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is how I am. Like, I'm like, I can't just do the simple. I have to do what I am picturing. I have to try. And so this was going to be called, I was going to call it the Hefty Hero or the Beast Unleashed. Or like Hefty Hero movies or comics or something. I was going to have the Hefty Hero just be kind of thing. I was picturing Jason Momoa as like this ancient werewolf warrior, big, strong, all these things. And then cut to the present, and he's a fat ass. Like, he's playing video games, playing Call of Duty. He's got some beer. He's having fun. He's lived for however many years, and he's been a hero the whole time, and slaughtering people. Like, he's in the modern day. Why would he want to do anything else? Like, just relax and enjoy life now. That's I'm kind of a Fat Thor. I had this idea years ago, and they did Fat Thor, and I'm like, that's kind of the same with this, but I had that before them.
Right. Yeah.
Before Fat Thor. Yeah. And you can see the abandoned Blockbuster right here. That's his I don't know. In movies they always have abandoned warehouses, and I'm like, I've never seen an abandoned building other than Blockbuster and Toys R Us, of course. So that's gonna be the bad guy's hideout. It's he's kind of fat. He's got his Call of Duty shirt on. Nice. Brown jacket, and she's actually supposed to be black, but coloring and colored pencil stuff doesn't look that good. So I'm just like, I'll leave it white, but she's black. It's they're going into the bad guy's place, and there's like people with superpowers. It's mythological kind of fantasy-ish as well. And werewolves are hard to draw, man.
I can imagine. Yeah, like your art is like so much better than mine. It's
See, I consider mine to be like a really talented third graders.
Yeah.
This third grader is a professional, but a third grader, that's how I see it. And it's like, but see, I think people appreciate what I put into it, because this is like an 1.5 by 1.5 thing I drew on here.
Oh, wow.
I think or something. Is a very small box, and I have like human virgins in the back. Over here is the cage. In this place, the different animals to eat, different vials of blood over here. I try to put this guy's supposed to be black too, but he's supposed to be an African werewolf. It's like from Africa. I was trying to make that a thing, links to the past and stuff. And it's the teacher said this kind of reminded her of the Star Wars Cantina, and I was like, what? I did not come to that correlation, but the severed arm and the different creatures, I'm like, I guess that is kind of the same, but I wasn't thinking about it at all. But like I was trying to draw the scene, like, they approach the building, they're coming in, and then they're surrounded a little bit. And I wrote some of a story to this. Like Angus has told me that I should make this a comic book. Like people would enjoy seeing this as like a comic, and then eventually, once I get some prowess with it, maybe the comic helps me get funds, and maybe eventually make this into a movie someday. Right. And I might do that. I might thinking about it.
Man. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Like I think I'd hire a real artist because this is fine. Maybe this would be like a bonus. I'd just give them the free art of this, like as a bonus perk or something of mine. But like I already have it written, and I love doing the writing. Visually, though, this could look better. This is supposed to be like an anime thing. It's like, wah, wah, enemies, old rivals.
Yeah.
And, I had to change the actual story to fit with the storyboard because it's like a lot longer process. But just do a quick, scene with this. And honestly, whenever they give me like an assignment, I've always been this kind of person that's like, okay, so the assignment is write a 3-paragraph story or something. It's going to be 10 pages long.
Yeah, right.
Only do 9 panels. It's going to be like 30 panels.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I can't do that. It's too much time for the assignment. So I had to cut, stuff in the project to make it work. But this is one of the things I wouldn't mind making into a movie. Like, I'm okay spoiling what happens with it, kind of, because I'll probably change what happens anyway. But it's like the main gist is it would be like a comedy / drama, a complete 50-50 comedy and drama. It starts out pretty funny. And it's like, this is great, hilarious. Maybe things that happen when it's serious is kind of funny too. But it's like, he used to be a huge warrior, and now he's just a huge dude.
Right.
It's like, the enemies of the past that survived are still in shape, and they've got positions of power. And he's just been kind of lazy and hasn't done anything. And in this series, like, ancient aliens kind of come into this, in the past, and they're going to return someday. And it's like, the main guys are trying to prepare for alien invasions, but they're getting themselves ready on Earth too. And he's not ready with anything. Like, he is nothing. So he's got to start, and he's fat now. So he used to be able to beat these guys, but now, tides have turned. Tides have turned on him. He's not as with it. And one of the things I have is that, people that turn into werewolves, it's easy when you do it often enough. Like, it's seamless. You have full control when you do it often enough. If you don't do it often enough in routine, you can get a little wild when you go into the state. So he hasn't done it in a while. So it's like when he goes, he's not as skilled is the thing. So he still get his ass kicked.
Right.
Like, this kind of thing, like right here, he was trying to beat him by not transforming.
Yeah.
It's like getting your ass kicked, dude.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I love all the reactions in the top there too.
Thank you. They look horrible to me, but it's tough to draw a face, honestly. Faces are difficult. They're my biggest struggle, really.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine that those would be hard. Yeah.
I start with every drawing. I start with the arms, oddly. I go, okay, that's the arm placement. So the head has to be kind of over here. Okay, body. Okay, and then kind of get it. I did like my consistency with keeping him fat.
Yeah.
His belly, his belts. He's not taking it. Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot going on there.
Thanks. This was I think this is the idea that inspired the comic thing, because it's like this is kind of in a way in a comic format, really.
Yeah, it is.
The way I did this. I think storyboards were supposed to be one scene alone, and this is like quite a few scenes. But I'm like, I'd rather tell the story than just show them walking into it or just the fight. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like drawing more. It's like, that's how I did it. And the teacher was so impressed, really. I think she kept a couple copies to show people in the future.
Oh, wow.
As an example of like good storyboard.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
Thanks. I hate this drawing because he's supposed to be bald. I'm like, how do I just draw the up close bald face? Yeah, he's giving him a wink. He's like, we'll do this again, probably.
Yeah.
And this one had nothing to do with the story. I just drew a random one to actually go with my old alien drawings, because I used to draw aliens and stuff too. Like,
oh, nice.
One of my first ideas after the series come together was, what if the Bermuda Triangle was like a portal to another planet, kind of like Stargate a little bit. Yeah. And there's like a human civilization on another planet, but like, what would be on the planet? What are the creatures? And I spent time and made the creatures myself and drew them out, and how would they interact in the environment? How would they interact and counteract each other?
Right.
So I put all that effort in there.
Wow. Nice. That's really cool.
And here's a few of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're like, what the hell?
That's really cool though. Like that must take like a lot of creativity to try to come up with all that and stuff. Especially in just like a storyboard. Like that's a lot of effort.
Thank you. Yeah, like and this was I had a due date to finish these. Like the class for class. And I was like, the alien things were different. That was separate from school, but with the character, I thought it'd be cool to kind of intermingle with them. And it's like I came up with names. I came up with their history. A lot of these kind of make me think of Pokemon, but they're not supposed to be. But like this little guy technically has like 3 other forms as he grows. But I'm like, maybe it's evolution. This is the past form, and then he grows and evolves, or he metamorphoses. I have no idea.
Sure.
It's like, these little things are eco gliders is what I called them. And there's like different species of them that are more on the water or forest or whatever, and they're like little people things, but they have a mouth on their belly and 2 eyes, 4 limbs, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
right. Like they can have like little sticks, and they're like a foot tall, like little villagers or something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This little thing can swim in the water and in the air.
Okay,
kind of like it looks like a fish, right? A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like
it looks like a bee fish or something, like kind of a cross between a bee and a fish or something.
Yep. This little pink dude is called a squuff.
Okay, nice.
And this is a squilf.
Okay.
like right here, these little things. I designed these ones because I was like, what would be like a cow? And I made this cow thing that like has a head on its a mouth on its head. Be Arthur. No, just kidding. But the holiday special, but it's got like tentacles on its mouth, kind of like an octopus, and it eats, puts it on its head, and behind it, instead of having like udders on its underside, it's on its tail, on the end of its tail, and its tail is kind of heavy, so it just drags along, and some little juices will come out sometimes, and these little things, they commonly follow them.
Okay, gotcha.
So I literally thought of like eco environment.
That's like, really crazy. Yeah.
That's
really cool
level that I thought with it.
Yeah. That's really neat. I love that.
Yeah. Thanks, man. It's like this dude I drew in mythology class. They're like, make a monster. And I was like, I can't just make a monster. I gave him a backstory too. He's like from the Europa, from Jupiter's moon.
Yep.
And under the ice. Comes to Earth, and he's got the buff muscles. These are supposed to be abs, horribly. I was thinking Goku Super Saiyan 4, kind of. That. And 3 toes, and the spikes are kind of a trope with their species or something.
Okay,
like a devil thing right here. And then my buddies didn't know how to draw, so I made one for them too.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
this guy's been on Earth for a little while, so he's got a hood, kind of like an assassin style. Stuff, different shaped tail, different toes, but still same theme.
Yeah, it'd be fun to see those battling each other or something.
That's what I wish, man. Like these were my earlier drawings too, so
really cool.
It was crazy. And this was the pretend cover. Like if I were to try to pitch a comic book for my Hefty Hero thing, this is the style I would want, like split in half, buff dude, werewolves and stuff, and then in the present, fatty.
That's really cool. Like that looks like a legit like cover. Like it looks almost like more of like a as far as like the drawing goes and stuff, it looks more like a cover for like some sort of like children's story or something.
Yeah.
It looks legit. Like I would think that would be like an actual book cover. Like that's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Wow, that's high praise.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's like what's frustrating to me is that I wanted to fit more stuff in here, and I was going to, but I'm just like I wanted to see what it looked like, so I hurried up and colored it. So I'm like, okay, and I was gonna fit like his 3 of his friends sitting around the fire. I was gonna have more werewolves in the scene, like charging for battle.
Right.
I was gonna have somebody in the background here or something, but I was like, that's just too much to draw in one little image. The paper I used was pretty small too to color this one. For some reason, I do better when it's a bigger canvas. I don't know. I try to fill all the space, but I draw too small.
Right.
It's like I had to fill that whole space. So smaller paper, I can fit a lot in it still.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I suck at drawing hands.
Hands are tough, man. They really are.
Yeah. Like, how do I get the wrist sharp? And that's not easy.
That's really cool, though.
And his hand is not supposed to be grabbing for his crotch, but it's just unfortunate placement.
I don't know. He kind of looks like he's liking it, so I don't know.
Yep. It's like it's hard to tell in the background, but this is also a Blockbuster in the background too. There's the B and the A, and there's the drop box right here.
Oh, yeah.
To drop in there, and the sign advertisement or something in the back.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to show like in a cover, it's supposed to catch you quickly. So it's like powers, werewolves, food. What? Buff dude, fat dude. What? Yeah. The same guy. Like, what is going on here? He's a hefty hero, but he's fat. What?
Yeah,
like,
right.
And it's not like, SJW things would try to go, he is, super, I don't know, they'd make it stupid. They'd make it that he's fat and that's why he's strong or something. It's like, no. That's just a circumstance of the modern day.
Yeah.
He's
right.
There's too much sweets and stuff and he's not working out anymore. So he's, it's going to be a struggle. And it's like, he might have longevity, but that also might be why he'd go, I could work that off. I got until I get killed. I can live as long as I don't get killed.
Yeah, right.
All that time in the world.
Yep, definitely.
But cool. Just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if you ever do pursue making that into like a comic book or something.
Yeah. Angus is like, do it in January, Jeff. Like,
yeah, right.
There's so much projects and school and work and it's too much at one point. Maybe next summer, but I don't know. I got to learn. I feel like I want to learn more about the process of making it before do that. And I think I need a bigger audience too. Like I know maybe 10 people that would buy a copy, but it's like I don't know what I want to spend into it. Like even with my Rookies Legends project, it's going to be expensive probably. So I'm getting a green screen. I'm getting a new camera, one that doesn't have a stupid date stamp in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
But,
all good stuff to keep in mind. So
exactly. Do you have any last things you want to say or talk about?
Man, I don't know. We kind of talked about a whole bunch of stuff tonight. But
I agree.
Yeah, we should definitely talk more often. I'll have you on my channel one of these times as well, and we can kind of talk about some of the stuff. No problem. I mean, you and I, we should definitely just like start talking more, even just like in private about some of this type of stuff, because I think we can bounce some pretty cool ideas off of each other and do some of that type of stuff. So that'd be really cool.
I agree, and I think if we can get you going on a project at some point, and maybe not in the next year or so, but sooner than you would.
Yeah,
that'd be good. I'd like to help you at least set up the pre-parameters of something. I think that'd be fun. And I agree. It's like there's not enough. Everybody in our community loves film, but I don't think everybody wants to work in it very much. So there's really only a few of us. Stick together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely this was a good night to kind of get me thinking about some stuff. I definitely am going to try to look around again in my community and see if I can find some people around here that want to work on a couple projects with me or something. Definitely kind of do the route of like, not just like, this is my vision, you guys got to just help me get this done, but let's work on something together and try to make something. So
right.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And I think getting people involved in a project together that isn't your main one, it's not your baby yet.
Yeah.
I think getting them involved at all will help them want to help you with yours.
Definitely.
That's kind of where I'm going too. We got, in a way, it's like grooming.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're getting them into wanting to make film.
Yeah.
You like film, right? Okay. So if you want to help a little with the thing, you want to bring that to life. Now help me make mine.
Yeah.
And I'd offer my services to other people too if they want me to help them. But it's like nobody's done that, so I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely tough, but I don't know. If you keep working, you can probably find people. So
yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for coming by, man. This was very good conversation. This went way longer than I planned. I was thinking an hour and a half, but I think we started talking about Taker's Crown at the hour point.
Yeah. No, it was a really good conversation, and thanks for having me on, man. I really do appreciate it a lot. Definitely gave me a lot to think about, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad. I love making creativity. That's it's one of the best things I do.
Definitely. Yeah.
People's gears turning. Oh, that's a thing. Oh, well, I could think about this now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we'll be in touch, and I'm going to say, thank you everybody for coming by in the chat. Thank you, Mecha for the raid earlier. The people, like 30 people came in.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tommy and Ancient One, Jez Pater, and there's somebody at Orville Nation came by for a bit. Rosetta Allen, Angus, of course.
Yep.
Who's the other guy? Charlie Bossier came in. Teresa Martin. Everybody, you're awesome. Thank you for the super chats. You guys might see me tomorrow morning. I might do another Tales from the Sandwich Artist tomorrow if I'm feeling it. It depends if I wake up. It all depends on if I wake up at a certain time. Like if it's early enough, I'll do it. If not, oof. But,
right.
Thank you guys. See you guys later. All right.